Kid on me, no, that good. That's all right. We appreciate, again, very talented crew, just all the way around. I can't think any of y'all that not talented at what you do and not good at what you do. And then everybody's so different. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. We got so many different flavors. Like Big Lee said, there's a whole tribe of them. Choose your flavor. Isn't that right? So y'all we got all kind of different, from slow to fast to mixing in both, so you can have like what they call rap style in it, along with, you know, you got the singing melody as well in there. So definitely appreciate that. You know? Very talented people. Everybody all right? All right, two to be alive. So looking at this, this made in Ghana. You like that right here? That's real lemon. Yeah, that's our people. Yeah. I say, it's some more. Wait on some more. That's all right, that ain't it? I had to get a white man clothes up and put me a little teddy bear on it. Then they'll want to wear it then. I ain't said nothing. They don't own no bear. Put a grizzly on our, they put a little soft bear. They might put a grizzly on our. Ain't that right? We got to tell you, we're going to put that thing on there and make it be right. Everybody all right now? What y'all think about the word last night? Y'all learn anything? Appreciate it. I think Humpback sent in the thread last night, sent the news today, was talking about the ashes from that Russian volcano. You seen it? They came fly to Portland. It done came all the way over here. They said thing 25,000 feet in the air right now. You talking about for Russia, which Russia is on the backside of Canada. So you figure, but you know the distance of that stuff traveling over here, that now you got flights over here canceled. I mean, I don't know, Teddy P. What did it take for me to get it right? What did it take for, I think somebody said something on the text this morning about somebody was still having earthquakes. Who was that? Russia having earthquakes now? Still having them from the volcano? Now they having earthquakes. And you know what? They still bombing Ukraine. When something make it, me and you fight, they said, your house burning up. You thinking, let's keep fighting, you thinking, let me get back, I need to fix my house, right? I need to take, where people, man, and they still going. Sudan is in a mess, so y'all seen that? They done started fighting. They got a paramilitary group fighting them over there. They done took the airport over, it's a mess. They done blocked out the president, he at home, locked down embassies, scrambling. And the whole thing, then you got Russia, and they saying use restraint. How you say that when you blowing and killing people to use restraint and call for an end to the fighting? How do you do that when you fight? That's like a drug dealer. Listen, y'all don't need to be selling drugs. Are you serious, drug dealer? I mean, people are really scary, and only they don't want Sudan fight because that's what they call and they steal gold. See, the Sudan fight, it's hard for them to get in there because there's so much fighting. They don't know who is who. You lay on the ground. Oh, I know what the problem. Nobody care about them. Let me tell you something. Whenever so-called Negro killing each other, people don't care. Especially white America, okay? European America don't. That's why they built Project for us to kill. They said that, well, we can internally kill one another. They know what's going on in Project. Project could have been stopped. You ain't got to cage us in like animals. You just need to pay us so we can live like a man and a woman.
That's right.
Don't try to act like caging us in no animal, like caging us in and blocking out. That ain't how you fix us economically. That don't stop nothing. Putting a police at the front and got a guard shack, everybody sign in, everybody being put down on patrol to being served. That's not helping us. We need jobs, we need education, we need opportunity, we need advancement, we need what belongs to us. That's how you end it. If you want to end the strife between the so-called Negro, he need real education. We got to educate him spiritually before any of this other stuff come along. We got to educate this man spiritually. That hurts him. Degrees don't change the mindset of people. It really don't. Because what's internally hurt you is still there. That degree can't patch your heart if you've grown up in a broken home, you've been molested, you've been raped, you grew up with a drug dealing mother or somebody on crack or a father never there. You got to give somebody some information that'll prick the heart.
Come on.
Ain't that right? Education not going to fix it. Look at white America educated. Am I correct?
Yes.
So why is he killing everybody else? And he telling me education stuff. He the main killer of people around the world with his education. So how education gonna stop me from killing you?
That's right.
Some stuff not even common sense. So what? So all these people fight wars are uneducated, killing thousands of people every day. And they tell you that's the answer to it. We get educated, put education in prison, put education. Education not the problem. We need to fix spirituality.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we need to do a lot of other common sense things. Every man need to have a fair chance.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
That's how I do. Give us the same chance you gave white America when you brought them here. Let us get on a horse and take our running at the first land we get and stick a stake in his hours.
Come on, that's right.
Give us the same thing. Bail us out.
That's
Do the
right.
same thing you're doing for white America and see don't you fix the problem we got.
Yeah.
Isn't that right? They don't want to, because they don't care. And you know who I blame? I don't blame none of the government. I blame the citizens. the citizens in France, the citizens in England, the citizens in America, the citizens in Canada, the citizens all over the world. We need to stop all these people. Everyone in government need to be changed and turned out. Everyone will get rid of the whole, listen, get rid of all of them. The UN, get rid of every one of them cowardly bastards, and we need to put people in that care for individuals. Sick of it. Why we got people ruling over us that don't even think like us? I don't know nobody that talking to me, telling me that I meet and deal with on a day-to-day basis, tell me that we need homosexual rights. Who you talking to? You tell me all these people, I don't know nobody we having conversations about we need to instill, we need to implement more abortion. Who are you talking to?
That's right.
See, they telling us these lies. This is what everybody wants. Who know these people? It's probably 5 or 10 of them at the most if you do the averages of everybody around the world. The average person could care less. We trying to make, listen, you want to be a we've been seeing sisters. When you seen who you seen a group make a sister take a dress out and put on pants? We just look and say that's your sickness. And keep it moving. That's your choice. But don't force it on us, and we don't need no laws to protect it. Isn't that right? We already got the laws of nature here. You're going to get yourself devoured, just like in nature. Animals get killed every day out there. I don't see white people out there trying to stop them. That's the laws of nature. You cross the wrong line, you out of territory, you know what's going to happen to you. So that's something you choose to do, then you become a victim for Yahuwah to destroy you. Same thing with us. Isn't that right? All right, I'm just making sure where we at now. It just get irritated, just sickening. We live in society just sick. Whole world just sick. I said one of them little state representatives in Tennessee, one of them him trying to fight for homosexual rights, get rid of guns. That was the one. I know you soft out. And then he used an afro. Other one, the afro, when I seen their head, I said, yeah, these boys, they got some up their sleeve. They ain't fighting for our people. I don't know why everybody entangled our safety in with homosexuality. Homosexuality had what to do with us in slavery? Nothing. I don't know why you don't keep associating these people with us. That's your problem. That's a sickness. That's a mental illness. If you call it what it will, more people get away from it. Now they'll label it for what it is, and more people get away from it. The reason people run to it because they made it where it's inviting. You know what I'm saying? It's a protected way. A lot of these kids now, think about it. You don't have to get up and, when you're a man or a woman, you got to get up and you got to compete against other men and women, whether looking in the part, whether trying to achieve something or do something. So it's always competition. So when you're a homosexual, ain't no competition. You just filthy. They come in all shade, they filthy, and they sorry. I don't care. You're sorry because you refused to stay with your assignment he gave you. I don't have no respect for nobody. I just be honest with you. I don't think a whole lot of you at all. It's just flat. I know some people that are, you ask my teacher, I don't think a whole lot, but I believe you have a mental problem. Because the man that gave you assignment already, I don't know how you can change it. Only person I can say can change your assignment need to be him. If you give me paperwork from him, he said he changed your assignment, you were born a man, you supposed to be a woman, then I'll take it. Otherwise, you can tell that stuff to somebody else. Ain't that right? It's hard on everybody, ain't it? Stay with the assignment. Like I said, stay the course. Now we got to tell people, nobody choose these assignments. This is what you are. When the man makes it, this is what you are. So I don't know how you're going to change it. All you can do is work to achieve the status that he done made you to be. And the way to do that is take this teaching we got. We got a lot of male people out here, but a lot of us just don't know the operation of being a man. Same thing with a woman. We think it's just putting on clothes and looks and getting the opposite sex. It's some things and there's some ideals, there's some principles that he gave us that go along with being a man. Just like when he created Adam, there was some principles he gave him. Before he, think about it, before he gave him a woman, he made sure he understood how to be a man first. Why he made both of them together at the same time? Because you know, you're going to F this thing up, son. You need to first learn how to be a man. That's just being honest. He need to first get the tutor from his father, then he'll know how to take on and how to lead about a woman. What we do now, first thing we come along, two little babies, look at that's going to be her boyfriend. That's his girl. No, first thing, let's get him up and get mature enough. Let's raise up, say, learn how to take care of assignment first. So when reproduction come into play and he has another, and he gets a man or son, then he can look at his son and tell him, duplicate. Yeah, right, now you can duplicate. If it's a female, look at the mother, duplicate. That's all we're doing. We keep duplicating. Ain't that right? We're trying to train AI so we don't lose it. And that's just, man, where a child get the intelligence from? They don't mimic and see the father. And then they're going to mimic and see the mother. So we gotta get a handle on AI intelligence. That's why the stuff not working. You hadn't fixed the artificial intelligence we got. We out of control. We can't be handled. We can't be brought back in. And you trying to create a machine that thinks like you? We already know it's going to be a failure. You don't comply. You don't obey. What the machine going to do? Isn't that right? You're duplicating it off of you. That's why he destroyed the whole of Ra Shyth in the 6th chapter of Ra Shyth. He said, I'm done with this species. I'm done with it. The whole thing need to be scrapped. I just took some few vital parts I could keep. Nuach and his 8, well, it was 8 of them out there, and the 7 more his mitzvah called his family. The rest of it, he said, scrap the whole idea. Scrap the whole idea. I need to start, and what? Let's start duplicating the same thing. And what? Look what man do. Man gets off. That's why he come at this time he destroyed. He done with it. He done with it. Now we got to get it right while we're on this side. Y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that couldn't be him. Hope y'all paying attention because you're at home. I don't mean you got to sit around playing around. I know some of y'all sitting down going getting coffee and everything. They do it in here too. I don't know why. They'll wait. No, I'm finna get up. What is it? Right at the coffee. I watch y'all do that. I said, this is called lazy and brainless. Because I don't know why all this stuff y'all do for y'all getting. Y'all see me going and getting coffee? Because everything I should have done it before I got him. When you come here, this ain't your coffee house. This ain't your tea shop to do everything you're trying to do. Get here early enough to do all that stuff. When you come here, you're supposed to be more ready here than to get a sacrifice of food. That's just been, listen, if we don't clean up this stuff we're doing, you don't get no better. Stuff I see y'all do here, you ain't do this in the Christian church. Tell me how many of y'all went to Christian church? How many of y'all just before the preacher got up, y'all went and got coffee? Where it come from now? But your dad was a pastor. What? You go just before the preacher go get coffee? He said it poured on your head. It's just, we just got to break these cycles y'all done got too comfortable doing. See, what happened, this is the negative part of the debacle. When I say the negative part, because you don't learn liberties or things that, a lot of things we took, it was more Christian antics. Now you done got so carried and so relaxed, you doing stuff you didn't do before. Right. Even YashaYahu talked about in the book of Galatians. He said, how was it when you knew not Alahym, you did service to them that were not Alahym? Right. Isn't that right? But yet when you learn of it, you done turn right back to the weak beggarly elements of the arise. Stuff that you didn't do before. It's like, how do you serve better as Christian than you do as serving as Yahudim? You drag, you lazy. Christian song coming on folk got to cry, you gave it all you had.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They know that they gave it, y'all know it.
Yes, sir.
Now Yahudim, they out, they gone, they ain't paying attention, they doing.
Right.
Now, and you hearing on the bar words that fit for your living.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, tell you don't consent to sin. Trying to tell you other stuff and say, well, lie, they made no sense. You still went along with it because they throw just a little Jesus in it. Ain't that right? Instead of get through saying, I don't need nobody but King Jesus, then you ask for, can you borrow $5? I'm trying to figure which lie is it. Do you need Jesus or you need $5? Because they teach you how to lie. They teach you how to cut, and you know what? You're comfortable with it. That's why you try to get your servitude to be so, you try to become mentally trying to be more adamant about it because you know it ain't right. I look at how you serve the Christian church, you pushing because the things that are unanswered, the things you know you still hadn't fixed with yourself. So you feel like if you try to put yourself all into it, it'll make up for what you're not doing. Now you're coming on, you get information to teach you how to do this thing. And tell you a lot of effort that you put out there, you weren't putting it in the right place. Now you know what to do. It's like, I just got an excuse to keep going. I got an excuse to get around stuff. Everything we have to do don't have to be written, but it still come up to tell us what we need to do. That's just being honest. Even YashaYahu tried to tell you to do something. He said, Yahuah didn't command you to do it. He said, I did it. He said, I commanded you to do it. And that's right, and that's the truth. And then Yahushua told you, he that heareth you, heareth me.
Yes, sir.
A lot of times they're not going to try to hold it down. Is it book? Is it book? Is it book? You ain't been worried about book. If book to tell you not to commit Contrite, you're still doing. I know you ain't that worried about no book.
That's right.
I know people always try to find a reason to get out stuff because that's the type of people we are. We them type of creatures. We try to get over and get by something instead of make sure you get in something. Yeah. Ain't that right? That's my goal. I'm trying to be in this thing when you come back here. Yeah. I mean, listen, my constant Palal, when I get up, it's the same thing. Ain't nothing changed. I get y'all want I can say the Palal and just keep playing. Ain't gonna change. It's the same thing.
Yes, sir.
That's everything I want right now. Everything I want, I done asked her for. I don't want no new car, not yet. I don't want no new house, not yet. Everything I want, I asked her for. All that, it'll come in time. Whatever else I want, I let that come in time. I don't even Palal for that kind of stuff. I don't Palal for no houses, no cars. I don't Palal for no clothes. I don't Palal for none of that stuff. All my Palal is for what thing he can do for us. I need to know how I want him to learn with us because we need to see it. We need to understand it. When I ask that man to blot out and not hold against us, if there's anything we've done, I don't ask him that to just like get away from that. I want to know what it is so I know not to do it again. I don't want just, I don't know what I could be doing wrong. Lord, just forgive me, whatever it is. No, I need to know if it's something I'm doing wrong so I know not to continue to do it. Because that becomes another Christian lazy excuse. You don't need no more Christian lazy excuse. You need to know. You got people that walk with their man, and they were Talmud, they were Talmud complete, simply because they knew exactly what the man marked them to do. So this is what we got to do. What the man tells us to do, that's what you need to do. But see, a lot of times we all keep trying to escape and trying to get by things and try to see what we can get around and not be caught and try to find a comfort level. Ain't no comfort level in this thing. You ain't got no time to be comfortable. You got more, it's time to get right. When it's time to get right, ain't no time to get comfortable. We'll get comfortable when the man get back here. Because sometimes you'll lay back and you'll get comfortable, and that thing you know you'll lose out. I'm telling you, ain't but a little bit of time. I asked y'all before. I asked y'all, typically, well, a lot. What you here for? Why you here? On top of that, you got to consider, how long before you think the man gonna come and he gonna destroy that place? And when he do, what's your plan B? I know Bree's saying I ain't got no plan B. I got this saying, but what's your plan? All right, you got a home. Now, how many of y'all got a home, somewhere to stay? So, okay, that man decide by the time we over your home destroyed, what you got? What's your next plan? And this is probably impossible too. Years ago, that was something you wouldn't think about. It's very well possible that man sent a storm through and wiped that place out. Flatten it like a pancake. We watch all the time. These Americans, little towns and counties, you see whole town flattened. What you do in your whole neighborhood flatten, your whole city flattened to the ground. By the time them folk come, FEMA come, they're going to throw you some water in that. Be honest with you. After a while, the news going to move. We got to keep going. It's other story. Okay. Mississippi, y'all in that county, what, they done fixed it. Whole town back up. When the last time you seen it? Listen, that's how it works. When that water problem happens in Jackson, everybody sends some water out. People not going to stay with you forever. And then listen, it's so many disasters coming behind the others. You can't be here for so long. Listen, we just learned about Fort Lauderdale. It's been raining down there all week. Because they're looking at, we have so many problems. It's so much going on. You really ain't the tip of the iceberg. They got some nuclear plant, some other plant, toxic thing burning, and the smoke going up in there. Y'all seen that? In Indiana? Oh yeah, that's real good for. And Indiana just what? Right over near Ohio, in Chicago. Remember I said Ohio got two. Well, they had the chemical spill. Y'all remember that where the train flipped over? They cleaned that up. Then those trucks flipped over. The cleanup trucks flipped over and poured out the chemical. What's your chances of that? We ain't ever heard of that before. We ain't heard that, Boston. Clean it up and the cleanup truck flip over and they flip over by a river. When are people gonna realize this man is angry with us? Yeah. This man is intent on taking us down, and he's doing it in levels to say, listen, maybe they'll turn when they see this. Maybe they will consider. But unfortunately, we haven't. The sun shining today, man, these folks going home. They're going to the park, they finna go play, they'll keep going. Nobody want to talk. I guarantee I went to that park and had somebody I could sit up and show you about what's going on around the world. Them folks, man, get that nigga out. That man definitely in my spirit. Man, I'm trying to have fun. What that nigga come with this stuff over here with this clown? I'm trying to tell you the world in it. I'm trying to tell you the world in it. You need to consider what you're doing. Everybody shacking up, you need to tear your shack down. Second husband, second wife, you need to split up. Homosexual, you need to repent. Everybody need to repent. The world in there. And folks are thinking stuff don't matter. It does matter. What other people doing matter because it's affecting you. You got to stop that foolishness. It don't matter. Ain't no, what they say, no skin off my back. That's a lie. Look at Yahushua. What other people did matter. It affected him. So how is it that other people can do wrong and it don't affect me? It ain't got nothing to do with me. It has something to do with him. I don't know. We got a lot of work to do. Definitely a lot of work. Stephen, definitely Palal for him. I heard his dad they had to take his dad. They had emergency surgery for him. Had a heart issue, and they had to amputate his foot this morning. So the Palal for him. That's 1 hour there. We definitely keep it in Palal too. Tell him to be encouraged. Nakum keep standing. Everything happened for a reason for everybody. Made no mistake. I know when things happen for a lot of us, we don't consider why. Everything happened for a reason. Everything happened for a reason. That's just being honest. At the time you're going through it, you'll never understand it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're really dealing with your hurt more than you're dealing with the rationale of why things happen. But at the same time, he gave everybody a chance to consider. Everybody a chance to consider. Sometimes you never know. Might turn the dad's heart to make him realize to consider it's time to get it right. That's just being honest. He can get you at an old age and get you at a young age. I had my dad, I used to bring my dad to service. I had him sitting there one day, he talked to somebody, he said, I go with my son's church. That's not my church. He said he goes somewhere. That last time I brought him to service. I tell him at home, I said, well, we good. You done heard long enough. Can't keep playing around with you. You done told him where your heart at. I don't have no time. I couldn't put my heart in him. Once I let you been listening, he was talking about where his membership, where he was. I said, yeah, that's fine for me. We good. I said, I ain't gonna waste no whole lot of time with that. I watched that man live up there. He called on him before he left. He kept telling, Lord, I need you, Lord. Lord, help me. Lord, help me. I just looked at him, and nothing I could do for him. I couldn't even pray for him. I do is sit there and look at him. Felt like Yahuwah laid on my heart. I just said, look at him. I just sat there and just looked there, just sitting there, man. I never heard all my lifetime living. I think my dad lived, I was like 41, 42, and never heard all my life call on him and do like that. And I had to sit there and watch him. I couldn't even pray for him. Say, no prayer for him now. The man I had opportunity, he done heard the word. What am I gonna do? So you know what? Do me a favor. Disregard everything that you supposed to, do wrong to him and let it happen to everybody else. Because I do that, then you got to disregard all the tube I'm gonna do for you. See, it don't matter about it's your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother. Right is right. And see, he done told you, listen, man, he done told you, it'd be two in one house. He said, I'll take one, I'll leave the other one. Listen, when I tell y'all this, I don't know why y'all don't take this serious. Listen, don't be no fool, folks. Your husband, your wife, your kids, everything you got, just know this man will come straight down the middle and will separate you because somebody's heart will be not fully set toward him. And you have to always be minded, if that's your choice, I still got to keep going. I'm telling you, that man will take him in your face. You be sitting down and you're wasting a whole lot of energy time. Why my mama, why my daddy? I've been trying everything to get my wife. I've been trying to. It ain't your job. They got to do the same thing you do. You see the man working, you got to make charge. When your heart be overcharged and you got all this stuff going on, it's hard. It's hard. Why y'all thinking, look at us, look how long it took us. What events had to happen in our life to get us here? Sometimes it take a foot to be left. He told you, listen, man, he said better for you to enter into life with 1 foot or 1 leg than to go in and having both of them. That's right. He done tried to tell, listen what he told you. He said, your right eye finger, he said, pluck it out. He said, man, it'd be better for you to enter into Kai than you to die and you have both of them. He said, where you going? The maggots ain't going to die and the fire ain't going to be quenched. That man, that you could never, and human being quiet, it's that you looking at how people look at you when you're handicapped. If you're blind, how people treat you. If you're people say, I don't want to be treated like a cripple. I don't want to be treated like a handicap. So a lot of that is our own kind of image and our own pride. This man said, if I take it from you, I know you'll serve me better. And I do that to you to try to get you to conform and turn. But someone still won't turn. A lot of times you see people, you say, why they'll say the Lord? We ain't got no business saying. We say Yahuwah. Sometimes say things, I know what they say. And the rich people, as YashaYahu said, I had to come to the weak as weak. And I had to come to them without law, not without the law, Alahym. I don't pray to Jesus. I don't call on Jesus. I don't have nothing to do with Jesus. I don't have nothing to do with God. I don't have nothing to do with the Lord. Y'all got me? That flat, plain where it's at. I acknowledge him by what he would call. They can say, well, it's the same terminology. Well, you use it, and like Ryan said, you hope you make it in. Hopefully. Right. Ain't that right? I'm going to go with the man, what they called him. Yes, sir. I'm telling you, I ain't calling that man no Muhammad Ali. His mama named him Cassius. Yes, he the one changed it now. His mama named him Cassius. Go around and tell me, well, it's the same. They the Cassius. That's what his mama named him. Yeah, right. I'm going to go with Yahuwah, what he named himself. That's what he told me. He said, I'm Yahuwah. That's my name. Why am I insulting and calling something different? Right. You done told me what your name is. Right. We're coming. What's your name, man? Okay, how you doing, Catherine? The lady done just said and told me. I can't be. What's Catherine is to really it translate into. What did you tell me your name was? Why are we so stupid? People always trying to find. Chris, I'm going to have to get that check, though. I like the energy, though. I like the energy. Come on, let me get that check, Chris. Chris be about to come out there. See, he be so energetic. And we be wanting them checks, too. Hey, listen. Y'all hit that like button and subscribe. Hit the cash app. Isn't that right? So we had to get that check, that energy, though, good he got, though. I was feeling. I said, yeah, I got it. I felt that check coming too. But I do. It gets you. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a fool, for thinking that man will put his mind, put his heart together, and get himself together and fix this situation. I'm a believer it can change. Only reason why I say I'm a believer, not at all that he kazaked about what he said gonna happen, but wouldn't it make sense to at least try to get it right with him? I mean, every man, every woman, every boy, every girl, at least try to get it right. At least, attempt to get, what is it to live for out here? Do y'all know, I was watching I forgot which news it was I was watching this morning. But do y'all know they got these people, they're astute, elite people. And these people in charge of the AI intelligence, a lot of stuff they're talking. Do y'all know these people saying they looking at about anywhere from 2 to 10 years the world ending? They're looking at about 2 to 10 years. They said the other one said, you know, that they're more hopeful that it'll go longer than that. These people sit down, they're doing the math, they're watching this stuff come on. These people say they're getting about 2 to 10 years for this whole thing to be wrapped up, the way it's going. You know, they're not going to tell people down there, what you think people going to do? They start saying that. People going to start buying. These folks going to start looking at, man, what you going to do? If you ain't got but 2 to 10 years, and the problem you got, I don't know where you get your time spent. The man said, why they call today? All the signs are there for that man to be coming back on us at any moment. I mean, less than 10 years. But for whatever reason, they want to try to give it a little opportunity chance. But I look at this with, let's kind of move on a little bit. Let's kind of move on. Let's see. It's just a lot of things. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know what's wrong with people. I know stupid is one of them. Very stupid is definitely one of them. Stupider than stupid is definitely one of the main things with mankind. The fact that he won't repent is scary. It's very scary that people won't even consider. Y'all know we're starting that over here on Romans 15:4. This is the MatthahtYahu is the name of the program that they're using for those watching in. We never try to use nothing to manipulate you where you can't see it and follow along, and you shouldn't be anywhere where people don't just trust me. I can't tell you where it's coming from. You just got to believe in me. No, you need to know where it's coming from. We're doing just what they were supposed to do. It's Shabbat. We coming in and we want to hear the reading of the Torah. Isn't that right? Get into Tanakh. Make sure we get an understanding. But that man is definitely talking to us. It's just a matter of, are you listening?
Yes, right.
All right, 15:4, Romans. This is MatthahtYahu is the name of this program we're using today. So I don't know what we might use by the next time we're up here, but you know, we're just basically trying to go through this stuff and configure. And one of the reasons why we use this one is believed that, as you can see, has the Greek here in the ancient Greek. This is more of the modern Greek right here, I think. And then this is the Greek translated into the English. So from here, and here is the abary, what they will call the Hebrew. So here, and it's translated over into the English. So we can kind of go back and look at as we go on, and you can look at the Greek, which is probably one of the older writers you're just about going to find from these people. It's unfortunate. They are to denote that the Greek is the oldest writing they have of it. And yet, you know, you can't find your original. And I don't believe that white people destroyed the original because they still got slave paperwork.
Come on.
I know they hadn't got rid of it. I know they hadn't destroyed it. They just keep it away from you. Get it from you, from all those, from the people who it originally belonged to, and from giving other people opportunity who would hear it, who would conform and change, because they'll keep it from it. So I want to explain why I make these different changes. I know a lot of people say, I don't know, Smith not stable. You know, of course, and I want to be polite, your mama not stable. So she had you, she was hollering and screaming and all over the place. So just want to be fair. And I'm only moving around to go through these different translations because our goal is to get to accuracy. We want to get right back direct to what did he say. People say, well, the English word's the same thing. I got you. Well, it is. You shouldn't have a problem with what I'm doing. Why don't I just get back to what he said? I want to know what he said. I want to know how he said it. I want to know what did they do when they heard it. So people had an understanding. Y'all got it? Abraham couldn't be a friend of Ra or the Alahym unless he understood what he was telling him to do. He understood what was contingent upon it. I mean, think about it. You don't hear Abraham being told to do it unless he moved. Do we have that writing? That he told Abraham to offer up his only son unless he die? Get out from your father's house, lest I come and I destroy you with a pestilence. So they're going to get, what made Abraham do what he do? I am a believer, Aman, that Abraham understood there was contingent upon on his death. Otherwise, why would it? Yeah, nobody gonna come tell me to take Austin Bryce and go kill him for what? Unless I know it's contingent upon something. I have to have some information. There's no way somebody just tell me go take my son, offer him up, and I'm headed off to do it. See, when you love the Lord, okay, stop being stupid, okay? This doesn't have anything with loving him more than it has to do with you understanding. That's the problem we got. People just believe this man just walked off and done something. Makes no sense. It makes sense that the man had an understanding. If you say someone is a friend, it's because you have things in common, because you have a relationship, because you communicate. I can say, hey, that's my friend. We're that tight to the, I didn't talk to him at all. Well, how is he your friend? What do y'all do, the reason y'all friends? Good question. If he called a man a friend, it's because we're in communication with one another. It's because we share the same principles and ideas. Y'all got to understand, you understand what things are contingent upon. Don't let these people fool you that the man just told somebody to do something. It don't make sense. It's not logical. And they don't want you to think outside of what they gave you. Listen, they put together a book with a bunch of fragmented pieces, so you're just supposed to guess in between. And it doesn't make sense. Let me get this straight. Adam in the garden was told the day he eat of the tree, he was going to surely move. Abraham wasn't told nothing about dying. Abraham knew nothing about getting cut off from this man. He just jumped up all of a sudden, just started obeying stuff. Doesn't make logical sense, does it? You're not supposed to think like that, because they're going to tell you the Tony Smith is going outside the word. No, they don't want understanding. They want to believe that people just somehow magically just start doing stuff. And that's why they went on the magical Holy Ghost. That'll never come. He gives the Ruach HaKodesh to them that do what? Obey. How do you get the Ruach HaKodesh? How do you get the Ruach HaKodesh? So let me ask you a question. So that means you can do right before you get it. Because if you give it to him, if I obey him, that means I can do something without committing sin. Versus he gives the Ruach HaKodesh to them that want to stop sinning. No, he gives it to them that obey him. Obey him. That means I'm not a transgressor. That's how I receive it. Which is trying to teach me you cannot commit kata. They won't tell you that. When you get the Holy Ghost, you'll stop sinning. I don't know how you're going to get it. That's why they got the Holy Ghost. It's magic. It's something they made up. So if you take what the man gave you, it don't make sense. The man tell you, Abraham didn't have it. So what was keeping him?
Come on.
Abraham didn't have it. There's no way right you can get to prove he had it. Abraham did not have the Ruach HaKodesh. So how was he obeying him? The writings would have told you.
That's right.
Noah, did he have it?
No.
He obeyed. He said he don't want to found righteous. EU, he would consider the most righteous man was there. Okay, that's tight. Yahushua the greatest of all of them because he was born with it. Everybody else, it moved on and it'll depart. The Ruach will move on them, then it would depart. So these are things you have to sit down, you got to start considering. You need that man to move on you and stay. That's why he's looking for a resting place. See, the reason I can't stay because you're not consistent. Okay, that's the difference. Think about it. Listen, he was looking for a place to habitate. I'm trying to cohabitate, but if you're not consistent, I can't stay. When you find these people, it'll move on them and it move off of them. That's what you find. It'll move on and move off of them. You're not consistent. See, now he's setting us up for consistency. Like Humpback said, I had to start manifesting consistency. See, they ain't know I listened to that, did it? So these are the things you start looking at. You got to be consistent. Then you got to also be persistent in trying to obtain it. See, that's another thing to do. I tried, it didn't work. That tell me you're a lazy nigga. Because you don't just try and stop, you keep at it. All right, that's how you got to keep at it. It ain't going to happen because I tried something. No, you got to keep at it. Okay? So here we go. I said a lot, but here we go. All right, Romans 15:4. Again, best how Mashiach is named this program. Listen.
For whatever Nikatab before.
For whatever was written before.
Nikatab Talamadus.
We said the teacher, show us, instruct us, so that.
Through endurance and through the Nakum of the Ketubim.
Tell them what happened.
We might have Tikva.
That's the goal. So that's the purpose of why we go back and we start to look at this and we start to consider. So I know I erased it. We'll try to look back at it again. That 66th chapter of the book of YashaYahu, they call Isaiah. For whatever reason, we probably turn, bend, shoot off somewhere else because that's just how however he decided to move, that's the way we'll move in that direction. Our goal is to get understanding, though. Now start looking at the book as magic. It's not. That's a principal ideal. Very basic to them to understand what it was. Don't make sense to get them that magical. They can't get it right. How magical was it? Don't eat of this tree. The day you eat of it, you're going to die. What was the magic? What was the magic at in it? What was the mystery? That's what the people try to get you. Don't let these folks. Mystery is hidden. He said, I can't. How am I expect you to do something hidden? I can't. If I hide it from you, I ain't expecting you to find it. I intentionally hid it from you not to find it. So the man put it here. Why? Because I want you to know what I want you to do. He told you, you know where the secret things belong? They belong to Alahym. But the thing that our Kazum revealed belong to who else? And our children. So they can do what? So they can do them. Even what? He said, all this Torah. So we can do all this law. That's why I gave it to you. Why you think I hid it from you? I didn't hide it from them. They talking about going in the 30th chapter book of Dabarine, they talking about who going to sit up in the shaman and bring it down. He said, wait, nobody. Who going to go across the yard and get it? He said, nobody. He said, it's Nadi.
That's right.
He said, it's the word we preaching.
That's right.
What you trying to go across seas and go get it for?
Come on.
Trying to climb and go up the shaman to get it. He said, nobody. Who going to sit down and get it? Who going to bring Mashiach up from the move?
Yeah.
Nobody. Yahuah did it.
That's right.
He said, the word is Nadi.
Nadi. Yes, sir.
Let these folks make no fool out of us out here. Isn't that right? We're going to follow this thing the way they done set it up. We'll start back at 66 and 1 because it ain't nothing but the word. Ain't going to hurt nobody, but somebody don't want to do it. Isn't that right? All right, listen.
Thus said Yahuwah, the Shamayim is my throne,
That's
and
what
the
he told me.
Arats is my footstool.
What do you want to know?
Where then is a bed that you could build for me, and where then is a Malkum that I may rest.
So he's looking somewhere he can stay. Isn't that right? When Yahushua was here, he told us that he was going to leave, but he said he was going to send us another comforter. He said, we shall abide how long? That's right, forever. Isn't that right? Looking for somewhere to rest. And this is where they come into play for us. Because now he got to get descriptive about it. Okay? He telling you what he's looking for. I got somewhere now where I sit. I got somewhere I put my feet. He said, I need somewhere where I can rest, somewhere I can stay. What is he doing? Listen.
For my hand made all these things.
See that? He made the Shamayim. We learned that from Ra Shyth, didn't we?
That's right.
So is he lying according to Ra Shyth? What he telling? Is it a lie? Is it the truth?
True.
Right, he told, according to Yuchan, on the first chapter. In the beginning was the bar. The bar was Alahym. The bar was with Alahym. All things were made by, and without him was not. So what he's saying, we got records to prove it. See, we got to verify. He said, I made all these things. Now I'm asking you, what you going to make for me? Come on.
For my hand made all these things, thus all these things came into being, declares Yahuwah.
Yes.
But to this one I shall look,
Listen to who?
to him who is humble and contrite
We
of
were
Ruach.
looking up this last night. We didn't get a chance to finish. I told I want to look at it from both ends, from the English perspective and how they used from the abary perspective and the English perspective. Because the goal again is to make sure that we display this. Appreciate it. Humble, having or showing a modest or low estimate of one's own importance. Also, a word that's similar to this would be modest. That's what modest would, not showy. So having or showing a modest or a low estimate of one's own importance. And the reason why people won't take on their way because they feel like they're too important.
Right. True.
That's why he looked at this man. See, this is what you want to look at and consider. As hard as it is, he wants us to understand that. I'm looking for somebody to have a low estimate of one. Somebody who feel like they look too good and they feel too good. It's certain stuff they ain't gonna do. So especially when he tell them what he want them to do. So he said that's why he said. So now he tell me. So first thing I did when I hear that, or first thing more or less Christian antics would possibly do. When he said I'm finna run and build something for the Lord, because the Lord looking for a resting place. I got some money in my 401k. Don't do it. You're gonna make a mess. He's telling me he said I'm gonna look to this man. I'm looking to a man. And this man I'm looking at this man who find himself of no importance. And that right, who has a modest estimate of himself. This is a man he took now who had to be, what we're gonna call it? Exalted? Well, they had to be exalted, we had to be what then? He had to be abased. So you're talking about a man he brought down. And that right, he brought him all the way down. And he couldn't find himself a no. Think about it, you take anybody down, take down the Trump all the way down to $5. How you think he's gonna act? Kill himself before he get anywhere near that. He feel like I'm too important. I had too much to live like that. I can't let people look at me broke. I here struggling. I kill myself first. He said that's why I won't look to him. I just used Donald Trump. He's just a name. There's a whole lot of other people. Y'all got it that we consider, but I know that's somebody that we all pretty much know. So we're saying that this is the thing we have to look at. How do you see yourself? That's it, because he said he asking us to build him a house, but he said I'm gonna look to this man. Why he ain't looking at you? Why he considers you? You got room for rent, don't you? You got, you know what I'm saying, vacancy. You know right? You got opening, and why he ain't come to you? He said, because I'm going to look to this man. The reason I won't come to you because you see yourself as too important. That's being honest. You need to know it. What's the abary word? Okay, so we can see. And it possibly would run out to the same thing. Depressed, in mind, or circumstances. Particularly the same as here, although the margin consistently disputes this, make it. All this man writing, just talking on here is afflicted, humble, lowly, needy, poor. So these are words he's telling that James render. I don't know why you got to look up a word and you're going to tell her what James say. That show you who had the most dominance on these people. They don't tell you no other writings. They don't refer back. They're going to tell you, look at James. James used all these words. So we don't know how to use this. We won't know what James doing every time he show you this. So we're going to look at a man depressed in mind or circumstances. And how are we going to relate that to Yahushua? Hands, hands, hands. Who hand was up first before here? Bishop back down? Bishop said his hand was up first. Hold on, let me see something. I got him. What you got in? He was a man of sorrow. Exactly. What was you going to say? You said, YashaYahu 53? So you said that because Ian said it. I feel like you stole it from Ian. What was your answer? Lower state? What was your answer? Same here. You had your hand up here. Who else had their hand up? What was you going to say? Man of sorrow. That's right. So you could look at how this kind of played a part, and we were supposed to look at this, and we were supposed to consider that this was what he was. According to they right here, and they put depressed, and we look at him because he was a man of sorrow, and he was acquainted with grief. And that right, he was very familiar with it. He looked at himself, what he was bearing and what he dealt with. Look at the people he came to. He came to a grieving people. He came to a depressed people. We was in captivity. We're in captivity now. How? What are we? Let people get excited when some music play or a party, but after that, we right back to where we're at, struggling, trying to make it in bills. He came to a depressed people. Isn't that right? And he came to try to pull us out of the situation. And that's the goal. And he looked at it by giving us a different idea. Contrite. Feeling or expressing remorse or repentance. In fact, this is going to be like repentance. This got to be Latin repentance. Affected by what? Guilt. Contrite. That's what he looked at. And guess what we happen? We don't do that. We don't do that. We don't do that. Let me show you something. Let's see something. Look at the 3rd chapter book of MatthahtYahu. They call Matthew 3 and about 6. MatthahtYahu. What I said, I do 3 and 5. Let's see. MatthahtYahu, they call it Matthew. For those that still had a King James version, I throw mine away.
That's right.
Listen. And I say this, a whole lot of other versions need to go in there too.
Yeah.
But I know that one jacked up, so I want to just go and get out of hand. Just trying to move away from some stuff. Listen.
Then Jerusalem was going out to him, and all Yehuda and all the district around the Yarden. And they were being immersed by his hand in the Yarden as they confessed their kataim.
Uh-oh. See that? And what were they doing now?
They confessed their kataim.
No, what were they doing before they confessed?
They were being immersed by his hand in the Yarden as they confessed their kataim.
Y'all see that? So it sounds like they got immersed and confessed after. He let you know I declared it in at the beginning.
That's right.
So those people had to confess it before they went in.
That's right.
Problem, we got people go in and they kind of keep things and don't tell it all. Listen.
And it was when he saw many of the Parashim and the Shalakym coming for immersion, he said to them,
what do you want to do?
You brood of Nakash, who warned you to flee from the wrath who was to come.
Yeah.
Therefore, bear pari in keeping with repentance.
Well, they need to be more contrite. They show remorsefulness. He's definitely not looking for offering, but typically before we had an offering that people set up as a shalom offering, as a peace offering. We had heave offerings, we had wave offerings. We had all these different offerings that we did. Y'all know that? We had sin offerings. So there are different things you offer because these things were symbolic to your sin. These were symbolic as far as to try to bring in a removing of your sins. Y'all got it? So now we're trying to look at, he's telling these people now, about now they're here, he's telling them to bring forth pari that's meet for repentance. So now we got to start looking at what they contrite. What they remorseful for what they've done. See, the pari we bring now is your remorsefulness for what you're doing. Now all we do, we guess I want to repent for everything I did to the Lord Jesus Christ. Or you can say Yahuwah, Yahushua, but you can actually clearly see that you're not remorseful. You just learn how to recite. Like people try to impress you, their kid can read. Same book they've been reading for their kid, the same book for 20 years. The kid memorized. You start them at a different page, the kid's stuck because they memorize. And that's all we've been doing for repentance. You just memorize. You get up and you recite and you say what other people say. I want the Lord to forgive me for what I did wrong and for what I did in Yahushua name. Where's your remorsefulness? You don't have power that's meet for repentance. Because he just told you, this is the man I'm going to look to who's going to build me this house. He's going to set up a place that I'm going to come and rest at. So I'm looking for somebody that's remorseful. I'm looking for somebody that hold themselves in a lower state. But you guys don't see that. Your value don't come in until you get with Yahuwah. Hello? So we're trying to see where our error at. What's stagnating us? What's keeping us from being getting to Talmud completion? And we're starting to find out it's because we learn how to kind of, let's say, skate. Skating, I get why people call skating their way through. You don't have to really do a whole lot of effort. Once you get enough speed, you roll somehow, you have to keep picking up your feet. Well, walking, you got to pick up your feet every time. When you skate, you just roll, look like you walk because you're still moving. And all we've been doing is skating our way through him. And it's time now to stop it, and we got to do just like Abraham. You're going to have to walk the walk. Y'all know that? He had to walk the height, the length, and the breadth. He couldn't skate it.
That's right.
And that's what we got to do. Same thing Yahushua told him he was him. He said, I got to walk the day and the mark.
That's right.
He said, I ain't skating my way. I ain't skating to get out of here. I got to walk it the day and the mark.
Yes, sir.
And that's what we got to start looking at now. We got to make sure we get this thing right. We've been too far off. We've been off center, so now it's time to come back and remeasure, restructure, so we can get this thing right. Stop. You're not getting by with nothing. None of us getting by with nothing.
That's right.
We all got secret things, including we all have secret things, no matter how big or how small they are. But it's dangerous when your secret thing hinder you in your servitude. That's it. A lot of our secret things is hindering us because he don't acknowledge it. You're doing things, but what you do when the man tell, I don't acknowledge nothing you done. I let somebody talk to me on the phone when they were talking, man, how he with them and what he doing. I let them talk. That way they got through. I said, I just want you to know for the record, I don't go along with nothing you said. I said, I let you talk it all. I said, I don't go along with absolutely nothing you said. I don't want you to think I go along with it either. You'll tell that lie. I said, preacher would listen to me. Preacher, no, I'll listen to you to wait you to shut up to tell you I don't go along with absolutely nothing you said. And I said, I don't want you to think I go along with nothing you said. And Yahuwah the same way. You can go ahead and you can keep talking. He don't go along with nothing you said. And that's what you can't afford. Y'all hear me? So this is what we're trying to look. And listen, and do not suppose that you can say to yourselves,
we have Abraham as our Abba.
Why?
For I say to you that from these Aban, Alahym is able to cum up Benim to Abraham.
So you got to look at Abraham being a man that was truly regarded, the Alahym. That the fact that when we Palal, we always, well, I don't know about y'all, I always reference back to him simply because of how great the bond was. You know what I'm saying? The association that you can Palal to Yahuwah and you associate Yahuwah with him. Then you associate Yahushua as his being. You know what I'm saying? That's a close association of how they was. And we want to be people that's in that same proximity. We want to be considered to be people that can attach to him through that. That's our only connection to him. Because we all remember when he made this, you know, this really had nothing to do with you. All right, let's see Galatians 3:16. I told y'all before how the man undid this stuff. I don't know what y'all thinking. Let's see. All right, listen.
Behold, the Shabbat were spoken to Abraham and to his seed. He does not say, and to seeds as of many, but as to one, and to your seed, that is the Mashiach.
So he only said it to one, Lee. How all these folks getting in?
Right.
Hello? See, we talked a little bit about that last night. So if I'm talking to Abraham and to his seed, and I'm talking to one, what that got to do with you? I was only talking to Abraham and to his seed. And he used one seed that he was going to come and attach everybody to it. One seed, because he was talking to Abraham and to his seed. Everything that he was going to do, he was going to gather all these people. They were going to be as the sand or the yam or the sea. Or they were going to be as the kukabim, they call the stars of Shamayim, was all consistent to one. I'm going to do all this by one. So the only way we're going to do it, the book told you now, if you be the Mashiach, you ain't going to believe it. Then are you Abraham's seed, and that's how you became heir according to the Shabbat. It's only been the one. All these folks, I don't know what they're thinking about. It's only been the one. So a lot of times people have this mindset of doing something, because he just clearly told you, why would YashaYahu come and tell you the same thing I've been telling y'all? It's all going to come back to one. It don't matter what people done, it's all coming back to one. And people got this idea or this makeshift thing, or they told they serve to it, what they gonna do. I don't know where you're getting it from. Because this man just told you to Abraham and to his, what the S at behind that first one? Behold, the promises which is the Shabbat was spoken to Abraham and to his
seed.
Singular. He does not say and to seeds, plural, as of
many,
more than one, but as to one and to your
seed,
that is
the Mashiach.
So where I'm going to get it, I got to be in him. The Mashiach had to be that seed. That was the only way he's going to be together, because it was only to one. Hello?
Sir.
It was only to one. Y'all keep living. Keep doing the way you're going to do it. Y'all going to get in some kind of way. Anyhow, my Lord, on your way to heaven, anyhow. I know that's your favorite song. Anyhow, my Lord. I don't know how people got it. It's only to one. It was only to one. That's how I told you. We have to be jointed. That's the only way we're going to get in this. We're going to have to be joined. That's the only way we connect to this. He only saw one man, and he saw, I set and I established these promises, these berith with, here, Abraham. And so people that he's going to acknowledge, and people that's going to acknowledge and who's going to follow the same works of Abraham. Let's see, 26 and 1. Who know what I want? Ra Shyth. Good going, good going. Ra Shyth, they call it Genesis. I don't like that. All right. Listen.
Now there was a famine in the Arats, besides the previous famine that had occurred in the Yamin of Abraham.
Y'all hear that? Listen what happened now.
So Yahushua went to Gerar to Abimelech, Malach of the Philistines. Yahuah appeared to him and said, do not go down to Mizraim. Stay in the Arats, of which I shall say to you. Sojourn.
You said stay in the place where I told you to? Okay.
Sojourn in this Arats.
So stay in this land.
And I shall be with you and Barak you.
So if I go to a land right next to it, where he gonna be at? So what can we safely say that we heard written and we recited several times? Based off what he just told us. So stay in this land, he said, I'll be with you. What you got, Ryan? You can understand that from that. Yahuah be with you while you be with him. He told me to stay well. And what I'm going to do?
Barak you.
Then I went to a land that was over about 45 miles away from them. And the Lord just left me. Now you turn around and you forsook him. You forsook me. I told you where I was. I told you I'd stay with you here. I told you where I was going to be, and I told you where I stay with you at. He said, so stay here. I told you where not to go. I told you where to go, and I told you where not to go. Didn't I tell you that? So let me see that. He told me to go here, but he ain't said where I can't go. That's the nigga in you. That's that little nigga in you trying to find a way around. He knew I want to be clear with this. Don't go to Mizraim. Stay here, and I'll be with you. When you leave here now, just know I ain't with you. You go ahead and pray, Lord, why you forsake me? Lord, you said you never leave me. Lord, you said I was your child, Lord. If you were mine, you'll do what I told you to do. I told you to stay here and I'll be with you. But you seen something, you were thinking something, you were feeling something, and you didn't know. We always tell these lies. He's clear. He's clear in his conversation. So what's the mystery? Stay here and I'll be with you. Tell me what's it contingent upon. For to you and to your Tuledath I shall give all these Arats. See there? To you and to your Tuledath shall I give all this, I'm going to give all this Arats, all this land. Tell them why, son. And I shall establish the oath which I shabba to your Abba, Abraham. To Abraham. And what's his other Abba name? Wasn't no other. He came from Abraham, and that's where we stand at, because that's what I gave the berith with. We know Terah was the grandfather. He's talking to YashaYahu. I'm talking to you. And what I told Abraham I'm going to do it with you, because you're his seed. You're the one I was talking concerning you, but he was actually just a parallel. He was just a figure of Yahushua to come. But here he's telling him, you staying here is going to benefit who? Your descendants that's going to come out from you. Because I made the berith with Abraham and with his seed. Now, if you stay here and do, this is going to parallel, this is going to bring in a connection. This is going to make other people joint heirs to, through you complying and doing. And listen why.
I shall multiply your Tuladath as the Kukabim.
See that? I'm going to multiply. Same thing to Abraham.
And shall give to your Tuladath all of these Arats.
Listen.
And by your Tuladath, all of the Goim of the Arats shall be Barak.
Look at that. Now I'm going to even tie in other Goim, other nations. Listen why.
Because Abraham shama to my call.
You hear that? He heard my call.
And obeyed my charge.
You think I told that man my charge and what else?
My commandments, my statutes, and my Torah.
And you tell me I gave that man commandments, statutes, and law, and I ain't give that man no penalties and no severity to it. I gave him to Adam now, first man I made. I gave him to other folk, but I forgot to tell him about it. I gave him laws, commands, and charge. He's a man. What's going to keep him from violating it? What's going to keep him from violating these laws and charges and statutes? I got to put something on the table. You got them. Why would I not give them to Abraham? It makes no sense. I just told you why I did this. He obeyed. Listen, he heard my voice. He obeyed it. He heard the sound. I charged him to do so. I put responsibility on this man. I gave responsibility to Adam, and he clearly dropped the ball. I destroyed the whole of rocks because they were Rosh in my sight. And you tell me I told you all this, and I gave you no penalty, no severity if you go against it? Come on, folks. Come on, folks. What's going to make YashaYahu stay in that land? The Allah, he already know. I told him, I ain't going to be with you if you go anywhere different. I'm not going to be with you. You're going to be on your own. That's not something he would have wanted. Because Abraham, I'm sure, was restricted for making sure his Benin understood that violating Alahym, what's going to be the penalty of it. He had to know it. Why wouldn't it? You've been taught that you were supposed to teach it to your children. And to your children, and they were supposed to do what? And you know what? He didn't even give me that law. I didn't even know that. I thought it was just for me. Keep it right here in my heart, me and my personal savior. Why would he not rear his Benin up? He was told he wouldn't even go back to the house. You thought he was, why, Granddad, now what's going on with Granddad? I don't know what's going on. We ain't going back and find out. Why not? Because Alahym told me to get out from their house. He told me to get out from it, not to return. He like, these quick kids going up. What's my granddad? What's my grandma like? I got another family, just us here. You ask me I want to go see him. I wouldn't. Don't go back. I can't go back. He would have definitely told him, well, Alahym got me out. I can't go back. That's it. I can't go back. So why wouldn't you go back? What were you told if you go back? What was going to happen if you go back? I don't know what people are thinking. They intentionally give you things. That's why you have to look at consistent behavior. It does not make sense that he gave the first man rules regulation, penalty of dying, and Abraham never got it. He was never told. He had no recollection. Because what books were read? What, he went back and read the book on it? He come out from a family of people that were contrary. Alahym took him out because he saw something in him. So what's going to be something he'll be prone to? You coming out of a house of people that don't obey, don't follow. Go against it. Try it and challenge it. So I got to make sure you understand the penalties and the violation. This is why you continue to violate, because you don't understand the penalty and the violation. You understand it's going to come up against you. That's why we have to really get studious about making sure we understand the severity of Alahym when you go against him. We talk about him being Shaddai. Remember that? We talk about that? Violently destroying. What y'all think he's doing? They play with the volcanoes. What y'all think he's doing with these floods? Australia getting hit with a cyclone. They ain't never seen one hit and do the devastation. He's trying to tell you, I'm Shaddai. I'm violently destroying these places. See, those that are familiar with him, had a knowledge of him, we know who's working. We ain't talking, the devil is busy, ain't he? Not us. And those that knew, that waited, we knew it's Yahuwah. Ain't that right? There are people, when Yahushua on the two, I don't know why people think everybody was ignorant. Zechariah told us that those that wait on him, they knew it was Yahuwah. Yeah. They try to like so many people didn't know. People did have knowledge of. Not all, but people had knowledge. Auryah, who they called Luke, he told you clearly. He said, I had understanding from the first. I don't know what people think. He said he understood it from the first. And now let's pick it up right quick. See that 1 and 1. They call Auryah, they call it Luke. Means y'all shining. Isn't that right? All right, listen.
After that, many have attempted to compile the story of the deeds which are confirmed in entirety among us,
All right.
just as those who saw them with their own from the beginning, and who were abadim of the Dabar, have handed them on to us. I too thought it too, having investigated all these matters thoroughly, so that you may know the certainty of the sayings that you have been lament.
Wow.
Skip.
Oh, I too thought it too.
I too thought it too, having investigated all these matters thoroughly, from Ra Shyth to katab them to you according to their order, O noble Theophilus, so that you may know the certainty of the sayings that you have been lament. There was a Kahan in the Yamim of Hortus, Malak of Yehuda, whose Shem was Zechariah of the division of Abiyah.
Hold on, stop. Back me back up. It reads different in that verse. 3 is what it would have said he had perfect understanding. I thought it too, having investigated all these matters thoroughly, from Ra Shyth, from the beginning, to write them to you according to their order, O noble Theophilus. So there are people that came along that had an understanding better than what people have today. When you look at him writing, when he told you open he they understand, they might understand the Ketuvim. If you look, he was talking about the 12. Auryah was not one of them. You go through your apostle list, he was not one of them. He clearly told that people started counting. I'm sure a lot of y'all, how many of y'all think in mind he was a Shalakym? I don't know how he told it. He clearly gave you the name of him in the 10th chapter of the book of MatthahtYahu. Auryah just let you know he was from the beginning. He had wrote this thing down. He already had investigated and looked at it. And he had understanding from this whole thing. He told he opened their understanding. They might understand the Ketuvim as they weren't talking to me. Okay. Try to help y'all out. A lot of study be reading, because you be reading, you don't be thinking, you just be going. And you assume he was one of the 12. It clearly gave you the name. Let's say the 12th chapter or the 10th chapter book of MatthahtYahu. And then he told you they handed it over to them. He said folks had it, and they handed over. They had it from Ra Shyth and handed it over to them. That's who they actually believe is argumentative, that who wrote the book of Shalakym, the book of Acts of the Shalakym. They call Acts of the Apostles, simply because he referenced Theophilus. That's who people believe in. Some say it was Shaul that wrote it, but a lot of people believe that Auryah wrote the book based off of his knowledge and his investigation of things. Let me say 10 and 1. MatthahtYahu. All right, listen.
And he called to his 12 Talmudim and gave them authority over Ruach and impurity, to drive them out and to heal every sick and every disease. And these are the Shem of the 12 Shalakym. The first is Shimon, who is Kara Kuf, and Andre his Ak, and Jacob the ben of Zebedee, and Yehuchanan his Ak. Philippus, and Bar Toma, and MatthahtYahu, the tax collector, Jacob the ben of Calphe,
Who they call James.
and Lababe, who is Kara that day. Shimon the
I want with Sade, his daughter, great. I mean, you don't know unless you ask.
Shimon the Kaneh, and Yehuda Iscariot, the one who betrayed him.
What happened?
These Talmudim Yahushua shalak out, these 12 Yahushua shalak out and amar them, saying, do not enter in the Darak of the
Oh, what you
Goyim.
got? So where's Auryah?
It's not in there.
All right, let's do. Well, what the goal is, y'all know, as always, is to really just kind of go back and consider where we at and where we need to be. Again, it all stems back to we're looking at this man, everybody paralleling and making sure we're following the pattern of this one man that he sat down here. And it's important that you follow, just like we look at the Abba, the father being the strong man of the house. We look at the person that sets the rules, that set the parameters, and the person for the son that look mimic after and to follow the same, have the same traits and operate in the same fashion. That would be the purpose of why he gave it to Abraham, to Yahushua, and Yaakov. These are three Tuladar he's looking at that's been established. That from here we should be. If you look at, think about it. Let me see, at the mouth of what was again? What was supposed to happen? So that's why I made it with these three men. So I made it with more than one and with more than two. I established with the three so that way every word be established. Now make sure you get it. So I sat down. If you see this thing operating 3 times, this is confirmation for you to kind of stay with it. But of course, for us, we kind of veer off and we run off and we create these religions and come up with these names and start reading these books and we jump all over the place. All we got to do is come back and follow the pattern the man set. See, how they were going to inherit, he needs you to understand it, because if it's the one, it don't make sense for me to attempt to try to do it, because it's not to me. If he's going to be the one to get it, it don't make sense. But it does make sense. He said, I'm gonna give it to you and to your seed, but all other Goyim are going to inherit it through him. So I'm going to have to bring you guys in and make you guys connect to one another so all you'll be partakers of. Just like when he sat down, when they took the last meal, all of them were partakers of it. See, just like we're going to be partakers of the benefit, we had to be partakers also of the suffering. Look, Yahushua received what he got through the suffering. That's how he received the benefit. Now, he came through his suffering. It allowed me to be able to escape the torment of Mut at the time, you know, depending on burning in Sheol. But I can't escape the partaking of the affliction. I still had to be afflicted for it. Because it doesn't give me not maturity, doesn't give me the understanding responsibility of what I'm doing. Now, I have the opportunity, I escaped the final punishment of Mut, but I can't escape the punishment because I did commit sin. Kata. And because I have to still suffer for that, that kind of, it more or less kind of gives me more of the encouragement I need to stay away from it. Like we thinking he came, he paid for us, I don't have to pay for nothing. No, you still got to pay. You still got to suffer for it. And that's because we're looking at how we're going to be joined. So just like we talked about, and I said, well, my toe hit. My toe hurt. The rest of my body also afflicted with it. Why I'm hobbling? It's just a toe. I should still be good. Because the rest of my body get afflicted with it. The rest of it had to suffer with it. My mouth got to do this. My eye got to bend up. And that side, tears got to come out. Because look at we partakers. What is the man? Up the toe, we good. We got 9 more. No, the rest of my body got to suffer with it. From the limp to the hurt to the all crying or whatever it is to the prayer, everything get involved because we all partakers of. Y'all got it? So now we have to become partakers too of the affliction or to be partakers of the benefit. Hello? That's it. It don't make sense. How you going to get part of the reward when you had none of the suffering? You got what I'm saying? So we look at these things, just like with him telling him to go in the land, not to go into Mizraim. What did Yahushua know? Hands. What did he know? Why was he going to Mizraim? Hands. Tell me what? It was a famine. He saw the reward of Abraham. Why was he going to go? Famine. Y'all with that? He was going to go because of the famine? One agreed with it. Nobody else agreed with it. What you agree or disagree? Agree. What you think, Ian? You don't know. 13th chapter book of Ra Shyth. They call it Genesis. Ra Shyth. (13:1). Listen.
So Abraham went up from Mizraim.
Huh, what it did now?
Went up from Mizraim.
If he went up, what that meant? He was there, he was down in it. Because you look, they have an up and a lower. In fact, that's what he did. He was down in Mizraim. Even Yahuwah told you, I brought you up, which means you was at a lower end. Why you always refer to, he said, I brought you up out. I'm just asking you. The book just told you that Abraham did what?
Went up from Mizraim.
Which means he had to be. How you go up if he went down? Let's see what happened.
To the Negev, he and his Isha and all that belonged to him, and Lut with him. Now Abram was very rich in livestock, in silver, and in gold. He went on his Mahalak from the Negev as far as Bethel.
So let me ask you, okay. So okay, let's go ahead. He went from the Negev to where?
As far as Bethel, to the Malkum, where his tent had been there at Ra Shyth, between Bethel and Ai.
So he went between that. So this is what you want to look at. Y'all find out how he came out from Mizraim. He came out with silver and gold and with his stock. You know who else did that? Yaakov did. YashaYahu. That's how we came out. We went up out of Mizraim and we had to come out with great substance. And we came out with our herds. Ain't that amazing? So did Abraham. You're mimicking somebody. You know how we went into Mizraim? Because of the famine. Because of the famine. So we all paralleling somebody. Abraham came out of Mizraim. That's why we had to go down to Mizraim, because of the famine. And guess how we were coming out? Because he remembered Abraham. He remembered Yasakar and Yaakov. That's why he had to get us into a land of our own. Just like he was doing with Yasakar, he would get him into a land of his own. That's why he told him, I want you to go, I'm going to put you in the land of your own. See, we came over here, and we in there play. I know we got to leave him with great substance. There's no way we're coming out there play empty, because Abraham didn't leave empty. Well, Abraham came out, so the thing that you don't find in the reading, you don't find he went in with all that gold and stuff, but he came out with it. See that? When Abraham left his father house, where did he let his daddy wrote him a check? Abraham had to get out, he had to survive, he had to get it. And Abraham and Yahuwah put him somewhere. Put him somewhere and let him came out with great substance. And from there, he came out being one of the richest men in the land. Just like we are when we come out this place. We got to come out of it. But you got to follow the pattern. You start looking at pattern that this man came out with. Why we find about him coming out with gold and coming out with silver and coming out with his herd? Because that's how we came out of Mizraim. Hello? Yes, sir. That's right. I'm trying to tell you. You start following patterns. You start watching. Isn't that right? He thought, Yahushua even told you, hitherto my Abba work? Our work, doing the same thing. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? That's what I'm trying to tell you. Listen, now these folks going to think that when we came along, there's a violation, because now we just said that Abraham was our Abba, making ourselves equal with him. Isn't that right? Yes, sir. If we're equal, that means we get the same thing. We had a ability to do the same thing. That's right. So we had a ability through the information to do the same thing. That's right. Y'all see that? Our goal is to try to accumulate salvation. Yeshua, but you got to understand, because we're carnal people, there are other things that have to work for you. You can't preach these people about no salvation. These people broke. Yeah. Salvation, really, now they came out, that was their salvation. How is it they not coming out with the stuff too? Yeah. They came out with money, with their flocks and all this stuff, and with their salvation, because they were being delivered. You come out with nothing but what you call your fake salvation, because you're still in turmoil, you're still in derision. Right. You're still locked down, you're still in captivity, and you're still a servant to sin. Right. So that's why it's important for us to understand and watch how everything you're doing, we follow. Even Shalakym tried to tell you, nothing new under the Shamayim. Is there anything you can say, see here, that's never been done before? Only thing he told you don't see that, and he told you about the destruction coming on their play. He said, now, that ain't never been seen before. That ain't never been seen before. But before this, what this thing we doing and going into Mizraim coming out, Abraham did it first. See, I know you just stuck on the Benim or YashaYahu, how they went in, and they were patterning somebody. They were patterning someone. That's why they were there when they came. The name of the book that you read about it was in Alahym, which was, and these are the names. These are the names. The name Yahuwah, the existing one. He exists. He always will exist. We learn all these things about it. We learn who? Abraham, Yasakar, Yaakov, according to that Barib. That's why he was bringing us out. Think about it. Why would they believe they were going to come out? And then they were going to come out with great substance. Based off of what? Because somebody told them? Because the man who we parallel to, who we connect to in his seed, he came out with great substance. You see that? So a lot of times you sit around with hope of something that they call it, and you ain't really got nothing. It ain't contingent upon nothing. It ain't established upon nothing. That's why he told her he was going to set up another barith with her. He said we're going to be established upon better barith. It's going to be established upon better promises. Isn't that right? So surely I can hold to something. Surely this will give you enough strength that you can hold to something. But we usually typically find a reason to try to get out of something. So our goal is really, really, really to get this thing right and try to look at why was he looking at this man. He's looking at somebody that would show himself in a humble enough state he finds himself of no importance. He's looking for a man that he look at that could be contrite. Y'all got it? A man remorseful for what he's done. For us, what about us? Where's our remorse? Where's our remorsefulness for what we've done? No, we're still trying to connive and do it. We feel bad when we get caught. He don't need that. He got people that do that. People get locked in the car. They try to talk to police. I'm sorry. You weren't sorry you were doing it? Come on, man. I'm going to lose my job. You going to lock me up. Man, you going to mess my life up. You talking about you went and you knew you weren't supposed to drink. You already knew you had 2 DI, and I'm finna mess your life up. And you going to put that on me? Come on, man. They kept you like you put on that, man. I got these drugs. Man, they going to fire me. Man, I'm going to lose everything. And you did it anyway? Right. You can't expect me to feel bad about it. Right. And you did it anyway? But that's how we operate, though. They said, man, he ought to give that man another chance. That's because you're the same person. Versus you looking at, that person knew what they were doing, and they done it anyway. It's just like he told her when he set up the Ra, he told him, he said, I done made you a watchman to the house. He told him, he said, when you see the sword coming, and you warn the Ra Shyth to try to save their life, and they don't do it. He said, man, that thing on them. Yeah. He said, they heard. He said, listen, they heard the sound. You heard the call? Yes, sir. Listen, and where we get that from? They heard the call, and they ain't seek to say they kai. Who? Who you say? He's like, oh. Uyaka, he caught over here. What'd you say? Yeah, you said a Don. That's who it was. Why y'all think a Don came? Why you think he ran? He wasn't stupid, he said, I heard your sound. I knew from the sound you were coming. I knew what would happen. The man done told me the day I eat of the tree, the ice, I'm going to surely move. And he coming, I ate of it. Man, I wonder what finna happen now. I'm so dumb, I ain't never heard it. I ain't got no books to read about it. The man told me what's going to happen the day I eat of it. I'm fleeing. I'm getting out of here. And that's what he said. He said, Ben E, he said, when you warn these people and they don't seek to say their light and the sword coming, he said, man, that's on their head. He told her why. He said, they heard the sound. If you ain't seek to say your own kai, he said, man, that's on you. I down my street knew exactly what that man ain't coming to talk to me about that. Talking about, come on, man. That man coming to kill me. You can hear the sound. I know what he gonna do. He's a man of his word. Only people don't believe me is us. Yep, that's right. Adam did better than we did. Although he had screwed up, the man knew the man coming to kill me. I gotta get out of here. And he could hear the sound before he get there. So why would he warn me, Boston? Why would he warn me? He let the man know I'm coming to kill it. That man got an opportunity to try to do something. And you'll sit here and you know the man coming, the man warning you, and you're going to wind up losing your life. Trying to hold on to stuff that ain't yours, trying to get by, trying to slick your way, ain't going to work. The man see us. Just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. Whether you want to acknowledge it or not, just a matter of time. So that's why I had to come back and had to look at that man, look at what we got to do to try to fix our situation. Y'all got it. That's all. They're trying to fix our situation. We've been in, he told them in the first chapter of the book of Alahym, he told them, he said, you've been in there way too long. He told them to turn, take your journey. How long we been the same way? You're trying to do the same thing. Like people detaching and getting away from things and letting things go is probably one of the hardest things we got from habits, behaviors, from relationships and situations, because it's comfortable. Even if a bad situation, it's comfortable because you know how to deal with it in a sense. And you don't realize it hurts you and affects you, and it's dangerous that you'll continue to hold to it. Hold on to a relationship with Alahym is going to be more conducive to your health, because everything he told you, it's going to be for the health and for your welfare. It's going to be for your prosperity. Everything that you worry about, a lot of people concerned about their health. Some people stupid. I tell you this one story. My cousin, I talked to her the other day. She called me. She's a charge nurse at the hospital. Well, she's over him anyway. And she said she came in to see him about a patient they had in there. The patient laying in the hospital, and they let him order Uber Eat. He was in there because their blood pressure was 200. 200. This number should be like 120, 170. His was 200 over some other high number, okay? He's ordering Uber Eat. 5 guys, 2 burgers, fried. She said, listen, the man is ordering Uber Eats, laying up in the hospital, blood pressure shooting through the roof, diabetes. She said, I called him, I said, what are y'all doing? Why y'all letting this man get this stuff? They going ahead and get it. They said, he won't. He said, I ain't eating that hospital food. She said, the man killing himself. And y'all see him bringing it to him here in the hospital. She said, man, ordering that. He ordered a bunch of, she said, Tony, the man eat 2 burgers and fried. His family bringing him food. And listen, Uber Eats just constantly bringing him food. Y'all know how that turned out, right? He died. He was in the hospital because he was sick. Listen, she said he was so fat he couldn't even get out of bed. He couldn't even get out of bed. That's how fat he was. She said, tell him he wanted, tell him to go down there and get it. They said he can't get out of bed. He ate himself till he died. I know it's sad to you. Let me ask you a question. You know what he said? He wanted to die. You ain't gonna believe it. You commit sin, you want to die. You already in condition for it. You already in a place where you're here because you're sick. What sense it made for you to keep adding insult, they say, to injury? What sense it made for you to keep, now he ate himself there, you living yourself to death. Because it don't make sense. That Yahuah let stuff like that happen to show you how stupid we, you know what I'm thinking? Our common sense would tell us, I'm in here, my blood pressure 200 and something over, maybe 180. All this stroke died. Yeah, you know what we're thinking? That's just stupid. That's just dumb. Who would do that? Yahuah said, I'm telling you that I'm coming back here and you're going to Sheol. That's just stupid. That's just dumb for you to keep going contrary, especially when you're in a place that's to heal you. You're working against your healing. It don't matter what this man preach. It don't matter what this man tell you. You still going to moot because you're doing things conducive to your death, to your demise. What that man did is what we all do every day. You don't care. You so far gone in it. Just like him, he couldn't help himself. People don't even want to know. I know what's wrong with him. How is he going to stop? He did what his heart called for. Hello? All he did, listen, in the book, told him in the 3rd chapter in the book of Galatians, he told him who Alahym is their belly. Yeah. And his caboose wound up being in shame. Because you know what he mind? He minded things right here on the Orites. And he told you to set your affection well and not. And that's what killed him. That's what's going to kill you. Because you mind things down here. We all got a premise of, we all kind of, we want to be liked, we want to be loved. We want to be admired. We want admiration from people. We want to be appreciated. All the things you want to do. It's just you have to understand when it comes down to doing the will of Alahym, that's not going to allow people to like you the way you think because people don't like the things of Alahym. They don't consider the things of Alahym. So get out of your mind of people liking you, people accepting you, people appreciating you, people want to do for you. People don't want to do for you when you're doing things of Alahym because it shows them up. And I don't need people to see you at all. Just like Joseph. One of the benim of YashaYahu, who they call Yaakov, one of his sons, they call him Joseph. That's the same. What you think his brother did? I don't want this man to rule. I don't want this man over us. I don't want this man to not, so I'll kill him. I'll get him out of the way. I'll put him somewhere where nobody will see him. People do the same thing to you. The same thing they try to do me, shadow block it, but you can't stop it. They don't realize only thing YouTube and Twitter did is what Alahym want them to do. Okay? He ain't saving all these people. He said, lest they see with their eyes and hear with their ear and understand with their heart. He said, then I heal them, they be converted. Yahuah ain't trying to heal all these people. This thing winding up. Listen, the man said he was going back to prepare a place for them. You think he's looking for an overload of people to be there? That's only set up for a certain amount of people. Y'all ain't got to believe me. Even with people that's in here and people watching, it's impossible for all of them to do it. It's impossible for all of y'all to hear. And that's only going to be because of what you got him. Here I point this side, but actually the heart is more almost centered toward the middle, not to the one side that people tell us. But the fact we live the heart because it's just a valuable organ, and that's what we know. People don't know how to deal with the soul, what we call the nefesh. People don't really know how to deal with it. So dealing with the heart, people understand if you have a heart attack, what happens? You just keep going? Now you fall and you die, so it's a critical organ. Somehow it can be critical. It can be life-ending. So he's trying to get us to look at it. He's talking about with the heart. He's talking about man, a man. So we're not talking about the literal heart beating your chest. We're talking about the inward part of a man. It has to get a conviction in there because that's where everything really lies. It's just protected, just covering skin over. On the inside where all your valuable parts are. You know what I'm saying? The real vital parts. And this is where you'll store things. They talk about a man having his treasure because you know where people keep their treasure. How many people y'all know how they treasure? They keep it on their front porch. Why you don't put it on your front porch? Somebody takes, so you'll try to put it somewhere where other people can't get it, where you'll know it, and you'll put things there that's precious to you, right? That's why he referred to that, because people don't literally do that when it comes down to spirituality, but you actually do, because you hide things and you try to keep things here. And he tell you from the abundance of a man's heart, his treasure, that's where things come out from. So you'll keep the adultery, you'll keep the kazab, the lie, you'll keep the hatred, you'll keep the malice, you'll keep the lusting, you'll keep all that because it's something you feel that's precious to be kept. And he's trying to tell you it's going to come in. He said, you laying up stuff where thieves and robbers are going to come in and take it anyway. He said, it's going to get taken from you anyway. Because when I come, I'm going to strip you. Y'all got it. And listen, there's no darkness, there's no shadow of death. He said, well, the workers of iniquity can hide themselves. So that's why it's your benefit to get it right. Just like when they would come to your Ukanon immersion, they came, he said, but I can tell you're not remorseful. And now you got to bring forth some repentance that meet. You got to bring forth pari that meet for repentance. You're remorseful. He told you, I'm going to look to this man. I'm going to look to that man. Why? Because he's a man of sorrow, a man acquainted with grief. Isn't that right? That man going to be afflicted. I'm going to look to this man. This man, I'm going to rest in this man. Y'all got me here. I'm going to abide in this man. But with you, I can't abide with you because you're too inconsistent. It depends on which way to win, bro. It depends on how you feel, what you feel like you can get away with. And I'm trying to tell you, I'm looking to one. So in order for you to obtain it, you're going to have to mimic this man, just like Abraham. You got to mimic him. This is who I'm looking to. This is who I'm going to grant it to him and his seed. So in order for you to get it, you're going to have to be a descendant of, and that's going to be by your compliance of behavior. You don't mandate that. You don't manifest that, so you will never be saved. That's just basically just telling in a nutshell. You ain't going to be saved. You need to know that. The average of y'all want the truth, you're not going to be saved. The average of y'all not going to be saved because you're not going to do it. You're not. I know you're not. I know you're going to tell yourself, why would he say that? Because you don't need to hear no more lies. You're not going to do it, and you're not going to be saved. In your cause of call, he told me the 33rd chapter, he said, they come and sit before you as my own. They hear thy words, but why was he saying that? He said, because with their mouth they show much of heart. But what did he say about their Lord? When he told YashaYahu to stay in that land, what did he say he's going to do? Then he just told them their Lord was well. Why would he tell them the Lord was far from him? Trying to tell you it ain't where I can work for him. Because the things you want ain't conducive to salvation. The things you're doing, he said, it's not there. Your love is not there. You are physically, bodily here, and that's what they looked at with him. YashaYahu stayed in the land, so that means Alahym was with him, right? What if his heart turned? Y'all remember when Yahushua would come back in the 24th chapter book of Thought Auryah? And they told him, they constrained him saying, do what? What was his face? They could tell him in faith he didn't want to be there. They had to constrain him to be there. Because they told him, they said, listen, he made it face that he was going further. They could tell from his faith, I ain't trying to stay here. But they had to constrain him to be there. That mean, he here, where else he can go, he here. But they could tell his heart went down. He was looking for somewhere else. Right. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. You can physically be here, but your heart isn't here. Your heart is not in the work, and it's not going to benefit you. The same way they was at the immersion. They could have came and said, you know what, I'm going to go on down here. You know what, just to be safe. I ain't saying I believe it all the way, but I'm going to just go on down here and get immersed, and he could read them. Who warned you to come? Right. You need to bring forth pari meat for repentance. Yes, and cut them out, because he don't hurt. He know everybody keep what the first thing they grab. Who? Cut them out. Don't even think to say it. Don't even open your mouth. Ain't none of you don't open your mouth to me. How no Abraham to me? Yahuwah let you get. Yahushua let you get your mouth. Yukanon was a cutter. That junk ain't working with me. He let him know that you open your mouth, say nothing about no. He able to raise up these stones before he get one of y'all. Cut them to their heart. Real that man will get rocks up before he get me. He said, make one of these abary. Ain't that right? Well, I'm trying to tell you, who warned you to flee the wrath to come? A lot of y'all don't even believe they coming, because you did. It's stuff you'll do differently. You'll keep trying to stop, trying to nickel down, hide, steal, lie, cheat, and try to manipulate around stuff. He gonna get you. He see you. Because let me put it out here. And get when I put it out here, everywhere it's supposed to go, it went. Because you know what he said? He said, the ball done gone 4 or 5 my paw. He said, ain't gonna return void. That's right. That boomerang, that been slung. Yes, sir. And they come back around here, it ain't coming. Listen. Whoo! He said, I guarantee they hit everywhere it's supposed to win. Yes, sir. That's right. Now, every time you keep going contrary, just know you've been hit. Yep. He put it out there for all of it, because if you don't get it this way and nobody don't tell you way, you're going to do what we all do as human beings. You're going to try to manipulate. You're going to try to see where you can get over. You're going to see how you can still have your way and have his way. Ain't going to work. Ain't going to work. Man, you just think about it as a man. Abraham having to get up and you get a call telling you to get out your father's house and you got to leave and you got to wife your nephew. You're thinking, what in the world is this? That's a lot. That's a lot. Man, he had a battle with a lot. It don't tell you that. Let's be practical. What do you think? Just jumped up in the spirit and took off? How fast you moving when you don't know really where you're going? That's a lot. I'm going somewhere I've never been. I got to get around some other people. And I got to try to start. I got to start from nothing. And you know what that man had to do in order to do that? He had to make himself of no estate, no importance. He had to humble himself.
Come on. That's right.
To do Yahuah will, you got to humble yourself. That's the only way you can do it.
That's right.
You got to humble yourself. I had to do it. I had to start setting them dry, to get rid of them clothes, shoes, all kind of stuff, jewelry, everything. I got rid of all that stuff. TV, I got rid of all that stuff. And that thing sure did hurt too. It's like somebody had cut me in my heart. I had to go get that job. That thing hurt me so bad to get that job. That thing hurt me so. It hurt me because I wasn't used to no job like that. It just hurt me. But you know what? I went on path. That hurt and it stopped me from doing it. I know I wanted to live right. And every time I saw live right had to do it, I didn't think I was gonna have to do that. I was thinking like maybe he'll just come like get me and like reward me with a big old check or something. Then I go to salvation. I mean, cause it made it easier. He could have came me from drugs to hugs, money, and keep going. So that way it been like an easy transition, but it was rough. It was rough. I down no car. That thing hurt me too. It just hurt me. It did. I didn't tell you it hurt me. It did. It broke me too. Because y'all wasn't used to it. It just broke me. It's just like, wow. But my mind was set on salvation. So that was a real struggle, you know, getting over not having to not having, and going through this and how people look at you and what people say. But my mind was really set on I want to be saved. And now you come back and you read stuff, I understand clearly what he had to do. His mind was set on being saved. So he had to make himself of no importance. He had to look at saving, securing his salvation was more important than how people looked at him and what people thought about him. And you're going to do the same thing and you won't. And you thinking that other people play a major part on your survival or keeping you, and they don't. It's all Yahuah. Everybody he let favor you, it's because he give you that favor. Everybody, he give you that favor. He put it on people to favor you to do what he do. And he put it on people to really go against you and work against you too. So it's to your benefit to be on his side. Stop lying, stop manipulating yourself. You can't do none of it. We can do none of ourselves. Even Yahushua said, he said, on my own self, I can do nothing. And he let know artificial intelligence. I'm on this flesh he said, on my own self, I couldn't do nothing. He said, the Abba that's in me said he do the work. You know, the programmer asked who write the script for them things. The AI don't write their own, they don't write their own stuff. The programmer, am I correct? They write it for them. That's what Yahushua tried to tell you. He said, flesh right here, this artificial intelligence. He said, I couldn't do this stuff on my own. You got to look at the programmer. Isn't that right? Even with the house, he said, who you going to look at? He said, the honor stole upon the person that built the house. More than the house. That's what we start looking at. Like Yahuwah, the way he let know, he said, I built all this. You ain't going to believe who I'm looking to. I'm looking to the man that built it. That's why we getting the caboodle and honor. Because he the one built it. You said, wow, you put all this together? He said, yeah, a little something I did. A little something I did. We restore that honor to him because he did it for us. And see, if you don't start appreciating and start considering and start really going through doing inventory of self, that's for me, for all of us, nobody. Really doing inventory of self and find out and looking at what self change. You can be good one day, some will creep in. I mean, you'll be good. It's just don't thinking you good for now. No, something will creep in. So it's constant evaluating. It's constant considering. It's constant looking over to make sure, or constantly communicating with him to make sure you keeping that relationship with him. It's so important. Going back and looking at things. How did you get it? How did you get it? When I say how did you get it, the call, the come, how did you get it? And then when you got it, where were you at? As far as where was you at in mental state when it finally registered you to realize you had to do it? Were you remorseful? Were you repentful? I was remorseful. I was remorseful enough to kill myself. That's why I came. I'll be honest with y'all. That's just honest. Some people say, well, I just came. You shouldn't have. Whoever you are, you shouldn't have. You should have came because you were remorseful. You should have came because you feared for your life. That man, you knew that man was going to kill you. That's why I'm just being honest with y'all now. You want the truth? You want to lie? Because I'm going to give you the truth. That's how I came. So he talking about, he ain't hit me now in time. He talking man contrite and talking about man being humble. I had to do it. I didn't know it at the time while I was stripped down at the end. You got to humble yourself. And yet the book told you to humble yourself under the mighty hand of Alahym. You ain't gonna believe it. Look what he did to Yahushua. In due time, he exalted him, didn't he? And that's what you got to do. I know, and that hurt. Let me tell you something, it hurt. And let me tell you, it take you to have something and lose something. Then you understand. People don't know, I done lost. I done lost. Woo, boy, I lost. And I still had to stay consistent, where I ain't let that get in the way of, well, forget it. Once I get it back, or I get it, then I can serve him. Man, please, I done took so many hits, losses, man. You had to do that stuff. You had to keep going. And people like, man, I don't know how preachers do it. You just had to bite your lip and keep moving. But they just try to show you that's just how it works. And you got to still stay consistent on what you got to do. I can't go sit on the front seat and fold my arms and start crying, so I ain't doing it. Don't make no difference. You still got to do it. Don't make no sense. If your wife mind turn, if your kid take off and leave, if it's your health, if it's your wealth, if it's whatever you got, you still got to keep doing it. It's a lot. You have a better way to do it. People don't realize to be saved and to do this, man, it's a lot. It's a lot. I tell you, I wouldn't even suggest it to everybody. That's why I ain't on the street crying out to everybody. It ain't for everybody. When the folk ready me to ask me, I tell them, I say, I'll be honest with you, you don't want it. And they'll think, they'll be like, I ain't never heard of preaching. I don't want nobody, because I'm telling you, the worst thing to do is start with this and stop. This the worst thing you could, the book said it was better not to know it than to know it and turn from it. So folks will think I'm wrong because I preach that. I'm preaching the truth to the folk. Everybody tell them, come on, come one, come on, everybody come. Them folks not tell you, don't listen to them people. No, they need to tell you the whole truth about this. Man, you'll lose everything. And everybody ain't ready for that. And a lot of folks be like, man, had I known that, I wouldn't have came. That's right. They'd have stayed with what they were doing. But because you really set yourself to be saved, you need to know that. Man, this thing will cost you everything. Yes, man, your feeling get hurt. Yes, sir. Then you break down and cry, nobody can help. That man put you in a state you can't. You had me in a state where I couldn't even cry. Yeah, that's right. I was like, man, if I just cry, I felt better. I'd cry. I'd start tearing up in a minute. Couldn't even cry. Yeah. Man, he let me find that in your car's car. He told him about his wife. He said, Eden said, my wife died. He said, I did just like he told me. He said he didn't cry for better cry. That's right. And he told him, don't cover his lip. Right. He said, that evening, he said, my wife died. Right. He said, I did just like Yahuah commanded me. He said, YashaYahu want to know what all that meant. He didn't know, I'm going to take y'all out with one blow. And you can make no mistake, I ain't going to shed a tear for you either. Right. Said, nobody, he ain't do nothing to people they didn't know, just like you. You know why. Yep. And that's why we had to get into the internal parts of us, because we all have things we keep. I said, son, tell me the whole truth. I'm going to tell you enough to get you out of the way. I'm going to tell you how much I feel like you know. I can't tell you everything. Him Yahuah said, he said, you don't tell a boy everything you do. So now you start looking at where we at. You got to make sure those little things that we all hide and keep aren't things that keep us from obtaining salvation. Especially when it come down to what that man, he said, for with the Lord man believe, heart and with the mouth. So if I don't believe, how much confession I'm going to do? One time I lied. One time I might have stole. Yeah, I think I stole something. And you know why that'll be? Why I'm, what is it? What is I'm looking for the word? Oh, goodness. What you gonna say? Reprehensive? Apprehensive. Thank you. Who was that? Who was that? Come on, Russ. I'm thinking something. Hey, man. I'm thinking, what's that word? Like, check. That's everyone. Yeah, I ain't never did it, my friend. How many of y'all ever done that, try to correct your pastor? What y'all think need to happen with that? What y'all think? All right, then. It's the member, it ain't me. Oh, you need a pen? Here you go. Give your number because you didn't know what a pen was. I had to use mine. Get yourself too. So anyway, what's that word? Look at apprehensive. That's 3 checks. Apprehensive. Listen, I love this power thing. I'm like Justice said, I love this power. but you know, thank you, kind sir. Now, what was I saying about apprehensive? Confession. Thank you, sir. Being apprehensive about it, because I feel like if I tell y'all too much, I'll be vulnerable, and I still might not be saved. That makes sense? I'm just telling you, I know, because we're human. Think about this. If I confess everything I've done, you know everything about me. That leaves me vulnerable, right? Then what if I don't be saved? There you go. So guess what? How I'm going to confess? Just enough. Just enough. See, and he's trying to get us to the most innocent part of ourselves, because at being vulnerable, now I can work with you. But because you've been so protected and layered, it's hard to listen. Anybody had surgery? What surgery did y'all had surgery? You had all your clothes on? What happened? They'll take them on. That's the only way they can work with you. That's the only way they can get to where they need to get to where repair was. I had everything had to come off. Everything that come out in order to get into where I could fit. And that's what Yahuwah want. I need everything off. Take it all off. You get folks take that shot. I need to take off your clothes. They got the drawers on. Listen, I need you to take it. Because they think about it. That leaves me vulnerable.
That's right. That's right.
That means me sit here in front of you and you can see me.
Sir.
That's how well with confession.
Yeah.
And get what he look at. I can't help you.
That's right.
And no, I can help you. That's what life teach you to cover up. Weave, implants, false booze, false behind, just everything. You cover up everything. All life does teach you how to cover up. That's what they look at with Adam now. What happened with him? He covered up. That's where he was comfortable at. Because you ain't looked at, you're going to come back here. You're going to see me for who I am. I need to get away and I need to cover up. That's why people don't like to come. Listen, there's a lot of people that watch me. And it ain't every one of y'all individual, but a lot of y'all, I already know you cover up. They pick and choose when they watch, and they pick and choose what they want to hear. Because I know how the system works. I'm the guy. Smith that guy till I say something they don't like. I say something that hit home, they cut in some area, then they move. Play that zamara. Because the zamara again, they beat you. Whatever you said, it was quick and move. I don't listen to that part anyway. I just listen to my favorite part. That's people. That's people. If people got a favorite, they cut it off at it. I heard my very what I want to hear. When it comes to this, you ain't gonna believe what he told them to eat the book. Your favorite part. Then, because you don't eat part of it, you ain't going to get the whole message. That's what he told God. He said, eat the whole roll. He said, eat the whole. He said, then go talk to him.
Yes, sir.
Make sure you digest it and you consume it all yourself first. Then you go talk to him.
Yes, sir.
So what come out of your mouth going to come from me.
Yes, sir.
Ain't that right? It ain't going to be in parts and bits and fragmented pieces. They going to know this come from me. Eat the whole roll. And that's what a lot of folk don't do. They don't want to comply the whole thing. If people that I just take so much, I just come and just listen. So that's my, then I can draw back counter. And he said, well, that's probably for the members. That's for the members. I ain't a member. That's what Christians them do. You're still a Christian. That's what listen. When they read something and he said YashaYahu to do something, see, that's God was talking to his people.
Yes, right.
Oh, so I already know people that's see, back then God, see, they used to be God people. God talking to people. See, we not Jews. We're not them people. That's the same thing. That's what they do.
That's right.
I'm convenient. You know what I'm saying? I'm convenient. It's like you can only stomach so much of me. Because some stuff out here, it comes straight down the road. I know if folks that sell white, they love me, but that sack of white hurt. And that shacking up. And I know they drink. It's some other stuff they're doing. It hurt them. And that part, they agree with it. They like, he preaching the truth now. He preaching the truth. It just, I can't do everything. But I'm working on it, though. So you got to start working on it. You got to go and get that thing fixed.
Come on.
So when people comply and people make those changes and make those transitions, it come against them. Hey, people watching y'all be a strength for people now. Because some of these people, they gonna get, they on edge, and they're going to have to get up and got to make their mind set up to look at, I got to go all the way. And then some people look at, see, if you committed this, it's going to keep them away from some stuff. I can't be out from my job for no week, they'll fire me. I'm telling you that, I can't do it. I can't afford to do no stuff like that. But I be watching when I can, though. I watch when I can. When I can, I definitely try to make sure I watch. I can't do it for no week, though. See, too many things you commit you can't do. And that's what they folks say, but they say, well, I'd rather do that. Like Smith said, it be people in here hypocrite. And that be that thing you use for an excuse to make sure. They would say, you know why I don't go to church? Who know why? Amen. I'm glad you had too many hypocrites. You know, it be hypocrites at church. That's how it be, a bunch of hypocrites. So like the one that be watching that don't go.
Right.
Because you know what they'll tell you? I believe in God now. See, hypocrite?
Yeah.
See, the folk that they don't come to see, they the same people. Because them folk be hypocrite, they be hypocrite. Oh, I pray. You shouldn't. You ain't what you asking for, you ain't doing. He told you have not. You ask wrong. So it don't make sense for you to pray, you're not doing it. It makes no sense. But then you say the people that come are hypocrites, and then what are you if you praying and you ain't doing?
That's right.
You shouldn't be asking.
That's right.
So So, you know, and I say that because the whole world, including us, well, y'all, I'm not saying that to make us that we better than nobody. Everybody need to get this right. Everybody need to come back. We all need reconciliation. We all need to reconcile to fix our relationship and go back and look at how exactly this relationship came to be, or did we fabricate it? You know what? That's amazing. You know what happened? I know y'all remember. I had a lot of girlfriends growing up. And you know, other than elementary, when you wrote on the paper, "Will you go with me?" I never asked no girl to go with me. Ain't it amazing how somebody, you can just say that's my girl, that's my boyfriend. Did y'all have that conversation? And y'all know, all the time, you remember elementary, you said, "Will you go with me in the bar?" Yes or no? Y'all remember that? After that, how does your girlfriend? I mean, we go together. Did y'all discuss that? It's a gift. And I say that because guess what? We just take with Yahuwah, it don't work that way. See, this is established based off of something. Like with Abraham, he couldn't assume nothing. I made this with you. We did this together, and that's what happened, why sometimes things are so volatile. If you really look at it, we never really sat down and say, we go together. I'm exclusive to you, you exclusive to me. We talk every day. We go out every weekend. We go together. And to say that, to say, this is the relationship we got with him. When did we have this conversation with him? When did he consent to this relationship? I assume, because I come 3 times a week. We never had this discussion. Because any relationship with him is going to be built upon something. Y'all got it? There's going to be some structure and rules with it. Hello? Exclusive. You can't have no other. You can't be seen with or have discussion of another. Here's it all contingent upon. He told us where his relationship started. But, I've been coming. I thought me and you. And then you come in. How did you come? See, the reason why I guess I'm having this conversation is because we really need to make sure that this is really a relationship, or have we done what we did before? We just assume something. Then we see somebody, hey, what you doing? Me and you go together. We never had no conversation. But you know we've been. Just trying to tell y'all. It's things we need to look at. We're assuming something, but we need to make sure that that both parties mutually agree to this. Right. Y'all got it? I'm just being honest. Both parties mutually agree to this. Y'all got it? Because he told us what it is he desired. He said, I desire the Ra Shyth, I desire the first fruit. He told you to go back and he wanted you to mend your first heart with him. He said, because I desire the first fruit. That's right. Ain't that right? In the firstborn, he said, I desire the first. I want the first of everything you got. I want the first of your heart. I want the first of your knowledge. I want everything. Well, all his knowledge was about Alahym first. When he told you to seek ye first the Malkuth Alahym and all his Sadiq, then all this what's going to happen? So he made Adam and Ka'ur, then he came and he possessed the garden. Are there any questions? Any comment? Okay, I'm going to get checked from my because that never happened. He made Adam, and Adam was placed in the garden. He gave him all the ritual rites of the garden, what to do. Then he added to him. Your problem is you're adding and you don't know all the rituals and rites. And he told you to do that first. So when Adam was in the garden where he was sitting, I really need me a hoe, I ain't gonna lie. Man, they give me one of them little AI thing and hold on to a pole or something. Somebody put a little AI thing, that thing is scary. Somebody will pay a robot to grab a pole and pole down. Nigga, you extra sick. And you know what they're going to do? I already know they're going to do. They're going to get these sick old little kid robots. So they can look at they not pedophile. Kill them all. Kill them all. Catch them, kill them. Kid robot, kill you. Don't make no sense. Keep away from these kids. But the world ain't going to never change. See, the problem is we don't have any real rules in place. See, every rule they got, they played around with Alahym. These folks have set up themselves that they will connect to Alahym, and they show you they have lied and hypocrited so long. That's how they back even proved with the founding father. They never really stood flat foot and said only man and woman can be together. And they knew homosexuality was out there. The people that are arguing are legal scholars. Most of y'all don't know that. A lawyer, legally, all these people do is historically look at fact. All they do is, I'm bringing up a case law. We're in the court today. Me and Dan bring up, you know what I'm going to bring up? Something happened in the past to prove why he ain't guilty. That's all that is. People study history. They're going to bring up and show you clearly these guys gay. They never could have said they were getting homosexual marriage. And you trying to wonder what's going on with the world. What's going on in the world is the people that set the Constitution up. These guys played. They were bad businessmen. They were hypocrites and false pretenders. They were liars. They were crooks. They were scammers. This stuff had to fall. It had to fall. We had to fall. We were liars and crooks and scammers. Why y'all think we him? Why he gonna let them go? So to go look at these people and look at their stuff makes you a retard. It's gotta fall. Because they never stood on anything. That's how everybody coming on now saying everything that changed is based off of them abortions. How can they be against abortion? They were killing and they were throwing black women over boats that were pregnant. They were forcing them, they were killing baby. The baby come out and master sleeping with her and the baby came out dark, he killed the baby. Because it didn't look, they always been against abortions. People keep trying to run around the time. Why you think they are? The reason why Supreme Court them takes so long, they got to go back and look historic and look, hey, these hypocrites did a whole lot of stuff. Right. We really can't concretely say that you can't do that. And they keep thinking it's the new generation. They watching them people. Everything you thinking they against, they've been against, they've been in favor of it. These guys been gay. These guys were slave owners. Bunko buck breaking. That was taking a black man having sex with him. Now how you gonna come along and say the founding father went against homosexuality? They own slaves. They murdered people. That's what I'm saying. What's going on in the world today? Your people that set your laws up were hypocrites. Why you think this man have us here? Because we were people that were supposed to establish the Torah, the law, and we were hypocrites. And the man showed us up. Just like he's doing them. Just like he's doing the same thing. Don't even worry about it. Everything they're doing, it's supposed to happen that way. You know, man, one time they pray in school. These folks burned our schools down. These black schools, they tore them down, burned them down. These folks been hypocrites ever since they started. They ain't never held to nothing. They tried to fabricate, they tried to look and mimic us, but they couldn't go all the way with it. Now they come back to show them. That's why Christianity have been falling. These folks were gay before they got him. Before there was America, that's how the church busted up the first time. That's how the folks started the Protestant church, because they were looking at the priests were sleeping with boys. Ever since they've been in Zit, they've been banging little kids. Yep. Child sex has always been here. Yep. These people so dumb. People so dumb. They say, man, I don't know where they come from. All these guys having sex with kids. Talking about the church? The church. Who is that? What part of the book you can show where he told a man not to have a wife? And the sad part, they teach it from the King James Version. Yep. That they priest can't have a wife, but he can have sex with, he have a wife, they're going to kick him out, but he can have sex with a kid, and we're going to pray for him. Right. Yep. That's why it's falling. That's why Christianity fell on them. Why you think they didn't want to know? Look at him. They broke off from that, started the apostolic church, started holding all that. All these guys gay. Yep. I ain't talking about all of them gay. And you wonder why. Look at the religion. That's right. They all Catholic. They got the gold cross on the table with the table turned because they all fall under Catholicism. Yep. Holiness, apostolic, yep. Jehovah's Witness, all of them are telling lies. They all fall under Catholicism. Yes, you cannot be Christian. You're under Catholicism. Just stop it. Baptist, Catholicism. Methodist, Catholicism. Yep. Folks so stupid. And you know what? The Hebrew Israelites running straight back to Catholicism. Get that Jesus conversation out. No, Jesus don't mean pig. That's another lie we're told. We can clear that up too. It don't. They don't have a Latin word that you're going to find. You're going to find in Jesus for pig. I was told a lot just like y'all, so we're going to stop saying it. Problem I had with using it, they ain't what he told me. I'm going to go with what he called him. Yeah. I'm going to go with what his mama named him. That's right. If I'm going to call Muhammad Ali Cash Clay, because that's what his mama named him, I'm going to name him what his mama named him. That's right. His name going to be Yahushua, because he's going to save his people from their sin. If you say that Jesus is a derivative, you keep it. I don't want it. That's right. I'm going to go with what she called him. Yep. You know, in another language, I don't speak that language, so I don't want to know nothing about it. They just stay with what the man, Kim Jong-un is Kim Jong-un everywhere you go. That's right. Go find out what his Russian name is. Kim Jong-un. That's right. Everywhere you go, they call him. Yep. What's up, nigga? They know what they call him. Now, why you got to go try to run and bust up his name with everybody? I'm just going to stay with what the man gave him. No, it ain't earth pig, ground pig. Don't believe. Everybody done throw stuff the guy looked at it. It's not. You can't find it. It's not a Latin word. The sus is not the word for no pig or the ground, the J-E, but folk gave it to us. I went with it just like. That's why I said, dang, why we got to look up stuff. Because because of reciter. And even they put it, it's still recite. That's why we have to watch people. Because people take their intent, they'll run, and then they'll poison us with stuff. So I don't know where they got Jesus from. I'll be honest, I don't frankly care. I really don't care. I'm going to stay with what the man gave me. If that's what you want, you run right on with it. I'm going to leave it to the Christians. They ain't obeyed nothing since they started. They ain't going to never obey nothing, and they ain't going to never make it in while they in it. Ain't no Christian going to be saved.
That's right.
I know a Christian they would say they wouldn't be a Christian. Christianity, a Christian, was actually something they gave you as an insult. When Shaul talked to Agrippa, he said, thou almost persuaded me to be a Christian. See, they took that he was not. He was saying because they ridiculed people that were following the Mashiach. The Greek was Christos. Right. It means to rub with oil. That's what we anointed. What we got? That's what it means. Christo is to rub with oil. So he talked about being one. They looked at these people are following this man. So he like, after you told me what you said, you almost persuade me to be one. So Shaul said, I would not only have persuaded you, but all men. So they automatically put together Shaul, who they call Paul. He said he won't be a Christian. No, stupid. That pit that 26, 20. Let's look right quick. It don't take that long. But see, when you don't know, it looks like they were saying he wants to be a Christian, and Shaul, Paul, said he was a Christian. Let's see how that makes sense. I don't have to even study this stuff. We just look at this stuff. What is it, about 26, probably 19? I'm trying to let y'all go. Acts of the Shalakym. Those y'all out there, I'll harbor y'all. I'll harbor everybody, black, white, whatever the color. I don't care. I don't owe nobody to tell them that, but I'll say it anyway. People might think, oh, we open to any race, any color. I don't believe in that. If some folk look funny at other folk, and I'm going to laugh. I ain't going to lie, but I still treat you right. It'd be fun you look funny, I'm going to laugh. Won't be lying. Look at that cat here. Between a sugar baby and a sweet potato. But I harbor. I guarantee they ain't got nothing to do with how I harbor. You know what I'm saying? If folk I look funny to people. You know how we get, I'm telling you, we all get so personally jammed up in ourselves that you let stuff hurt. How is something funny? You do something, you ain't supposed to laugh. It was funny. You ain't gonna believe it. The man YashaYahu, they named it, called his mama laugh. Yahuwah, the Malachim was telling Abraham what he gonna do. She bust out laughing. No, she named the man YashaYahu. He laughed. She laughed. So she ain't gonna be saved. Yeah, he done told all the women that you her daughter if you do what she did. She bust out laughing. People, man, bro, waste so much time, man, trying to look extra. Bro, hey, you can't even poop. We done bust the vein. I'm gonna poop and still make it in. Ain't make me. Bro, be so over Christian like they ain't even human no more. There's some stuff funny, but I tell you what I ain't gonna do. I ain't gonna mistreat no man. I mean, you're going to treat a person right. So people look different. Black people, you look weird to other people. You look normal to you because you see other people look like you, and that's a normalcy to you. But from other people, we all look different to one another. But we ain't got to treat each other different. That's not going to change that. When I see y'all, I don't see no color. First lie. On top of all the other meat. I'm saying the first one I just caught you on, but I know it more going than that. Tell the folks the truth. No, we all look different. There's a reason why we look different. Just like all trees look different. All animals look different. That's distinctive. So that people make a fool out of you. Right. Got you sitting around living a lie. Why you got to live a lie? Right. That be the truth. All right, let's see this. What I said, 26:19? Okay. Let's take me up a little bit more. Let's see what that said. 26:15 maybe? Go ahead. All right, let's see. Listen.
And I said, who are you, my Adon?
You talking about Yahushua. What happened?
And he said, I am Yahushua, whom you are persecuting.
What they put up there, Jesus?
Yahushua.
Oh, they put Yahushua. All right.
But come up and stand on your regal. For this purpose I have appeared to you, for I shall choose you as a Sharab.
Let me ask you a question. He told him, this is what he told him. He told him he appeared on him. What do you want him to do?
For I should choose.
No, bear me up a little bit. What did he tell him to do? He said, name of Yahushua.
But come up and stand on your regard.
That's right, because he made man upright.
Yes, sir.
He ain't made man to be laying down. He ain't made man to be sideways. He taught how he say he made man.
Upright.
I need you to get up on your feet. Y'all got me? I need
Yes,
man
sir.
just where he's supposed to be. And I'm trying to teach man upright. Man, no, even from the penis, they even show you the penis for the yard when it's upright.
That's right.
It's erected. He said, I want man, I made you be erected.
That's right.
Otherwise, the penis hang down. Right? All right, I mean, be honest, it's part of the,
That's
it's part
right.
of the anatomy, part of the body. Y'all made the sexual part like it's something nasty, feel it, but you want to use it.
That's right. That's right.
Why they ain't nasty when you using it? Whoa, he said penis, that nasty word. So, you know, dripping all on your leg. Won't you cut it off? It's so nasty.
That's
it's
right.
touching the rest of your body.
That's right.
I mean, people, y'all let people go make a fool out of you.
Yep.
You can't say penis vagina, let the white folk done gave it to you in the book.
That's right.
Man, got to draw a cartoon. Penis vagina, we understood the sickle when you thrust it in. The vagina hole, the arite, how it takes in the seed. We understood it.
That's right.
We understood
Yes,
it.
sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
That's how we understood it. And we understood it when the woman, when she had a baby, when it come out, we understood when the seed started producing, when it's full to come to full time, it come out. And then what we have to do? You just got to put the sickle to it. You got to cut it. You got to separate it. That's why the Yahuwah told about us. He said, I served you from other goyim. You know why? It was time.
Mm-hmm.
When you cut the umbilical cord.
When the baby come out.
That's right. And he looked at it. He said, I served you from other goyim, which means I put the sickle, I cut you away from them. Hello? Yes, sir. All right, I'm trying to help y'all out now. Trying to let you know. It was time. I served you. I cut you away from these people. And see, that way you got to look. We understood Badal. We understood Kudash being separated, being cut off from things. And these are things you need to learn now by cutting off different things. Y'all got it?
Yes, sir.
Come on.
For this purpose I have appeared to you, for I shall choose you as a Sharoth and as a witness of the things which you have seen, and which I shall kazoon to you.
See that? The things I'm going to reveal to you and what you've already seen. That's how you're going to be a witness. I'm going to be a witness in the courtroom, ain't never seen that and still don't know nothing. What kind of witness I'm going to be?
Bad one.
That's why he said I'm going to go with what you've seen and what I'm going to show you. So you're going to go and testify concerning it. What happened?
By delivering you from the arm and from the goyim, that I shall send Shalak unto you now.
See that? He said that's how I'm going to do it, by delivering you from them. I'm going to separate you from them. So, and who else we going to look at mimicking this? That's tight. Who else we going to use? Deliver him from, who you say? Who said that? Ryan said, who you said? That bad. He tried to put on his daughter. He's trying to tell her, stop talking, little baby. Who you say, Yahushua? Musha? You could, but I'm going to look at Abraham. So we're talking about the Abba. But he did get delivered from him. But we'll look at Abraham. He delivered him from him. Y'all got it? He delivered from him. And he said, now he don't deliver you from the people and from the goyim, that I would do what?
That I shall Shalak unto you now.
See, that's what we got to look at now. For you can be a witness, you got to be separated from him first. And what make him an effective witness? Because people knew how he was before.
That's right.
See, people want to look at, see, I got people that don't like me because he dead now. He wouldn't listen to me. He told my other friend, he said he wouldn't listen to me because of all the stuff I did. He said he couldn't listen to me. I know another guy, he said he couldn't listen to me for some stuff I did. He said, I couldn't listen, y'all could. He said, I know what he did. He said, I never listened to him. That's fine. See, what he did the same thing. He delivered me from him to come back because I would be a better proponent for telling you about the truth. It's different when you try and tell people about something you ain't never done nothing. It's different when you've done something. And people say, I know this guy. I know what he used to do. So I'm a believer based off of that. So he said, that's why I appeared to you. I want to use you as a witness. Because these guys are going to say what they can't do. I had some old friends of mine, drug dealer. They called me before. They'll call me. They talk to me. They tell me, keep up the good work. They'll call me. They just call me and tell me that. Keep it up. They knew. They knew. And tell me they were trying. They were trying to get it. They're like, just seeing you up there, you know. There's a lot of people that watch that know the past and know what you do. And people need that. See, for a lot of people, a lot of these people they got, like the Jake and them guys ain't done that. I mean, homosexual stuff they do, but these people, that's not going to move here, man. They ain't been here fight. They've been the fight of being, overly sexual out here, the fornication, the drinking, the clubbing, the dealing, and other things they're doing. So it's hard unless you see other people that actually done it, especially when you know them. Because some people that might get up and preach about it, they look at, I don't really know how far you was in it. You might have been a guy, like I remember when he was saying he sold weed. He used to sell weed. He sold one dime bag, then the second dime bag he went and bought, it had grass in it. I said, no, you clean. He said, man, shut my whole operation down. I said, so that man got the $20 and that was his whole operation. Yeah. Say, yeah, you wasn't no drug dealer, you still clean. You know what I'm saying? When you start moving weight, you start doing something, people know what you used to do and know what you're capable of, and people say, I can respect the fact of what you've done, especially when I know just like him, he delivered him from some people that he sent him back to, similar to Musha now. Because he said, now I'm going to send you back. So these people are going to know about your past. And these people see the change now and they hear what you're saying, so you make them more to consider. Okay? Listen.
To open their wombs so that they may turn from Kashaf to Auryah, and from the dominion of Satan to Alahym.
Now, he said, I open their eyes, because you know why their eyes were closed? Because I can't see it no other way. The way they saw things were different, but seeing someone that came out from some of the things that they've done, that sparks them or enlightens them enough to get them to consider. That's in the term of opening their eyes. Because the same thing had been said, but they hadn't been knowledgeable of it. They hadn't really paid attention to it. It's some people who listen through knowing me from my past and say, I'm listening because I'm watching him, and it's crazy. Seeing him now, I'm seeing this and I'm listening to it, it's making sense. So in terminology, guess what he's doing? He opening their eyes. That's why he's taking a lot of you and a lot of us from these situations and from profession, because people will feel like you can't have these jobs, you can't work in these professions and be saved. I don't know where they get it from. We the only people that work in it and work in it proficiently. Because we know how to do stuff fast. I don't care if a person, wife, on police officer, if he done nothing wrong, I ain't finna blame it on that man because he white, somebody causing no slavery. One ain't got nothing to do with the other. Right, supposed to be right. You're not just, it's just. That's how you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be Sadak in everything you do. You're supposed to be just. You're supposed to be Sadiq. You're supposed to be righteous in what you do, regardless of a person. Because who's right, who's wrong, that's all you're going to look at. I ain't looking at what's the color and what slavery got. Slavery ain't got nothing to do with that. When I make a decision on my part, I got to make it out off evidence and what's right. Same thing you guys supposed to do. Come on.
That they may receive forgiveness of Kataim and an inheritance among those who have been inside the Kodash ones by Amunah in me.
Let me say that. Now look at that. All this had to happen to one man, converting this one man, bring him back and letting the people see him after conversion, hearing his conversation, was to enlighten them and then to get them salvation. See, a lot of times you don't know why your life go the way it's going. And you think he knew when he was getting struck down, all that was going to be for that purpose. He had to tell him that. Now, me, he don't have to tell me that. I got to know it based upon the writing. Why else would I take you? Why would I strip you down and do that? Because there's somebody you know, some people you're going to see, and they're going to see the new you. And they're going to have questions about it. They're going to know it. And it's going to spark somebody to become inquisitive, and they're going to want to come. They're going to want to see. I can't reach everybody. You guys will reach people. You reach, you meet people. People see you, and people become inquisitive. People ask questions. When people ask questions, people go on sites. People want to look. People want to see. People start listening. People start watching. Before you know it, I watch them all the time. I'm coming out there. See, and that's because through you and through your change of what you've done, you trigger other people that they watch and it touch their law. And they look at, you know what, seeing you, watching you makes me want to go after, make me want to investigate so I can know. And in doing that, it pricks their law, convicts them to where, guess what, they make the change. That's right. So he uses all of us. And he used Shaul and he said, I appeared to you for their purpose. I appeared for you for their purpose. This is why I'm going to do all this to you. He let him know why. Because you're going to have questions. Why this happened to me? Why my life going? Why is all this happening in my life? I'm telling you why. I'm going to make you a servant. So a servant going to be somebody who's going to look at themselves in a higher state. You're going to look at yourself of no importance. Because you look at who you got to serve. So I'm going to humble you down. I'm going to strip you down. Then I'm going to comb you up. You're going to be upright, and you're going to be something that people can look at and they can base their living off of. And this is what he actually come to enlighten us, instruct us to do. Your life ain't just for you to live. Your life is set for others to pattern and get him kaboom. That's why he made us. Come on.
Therefore, Malak Agrippus, I did not defy the sight which I saw from Shamayim, but declared first unto the inhabitants of Damascus and Jerusalem.
And Damascus, why Damascus? Hand. Why Damascus first? I got Chris. Anybody in the hallway? That's that real click. That man got his arm behind the pew, ready to look at Rod. You ain't gonna say nothing. You gonna let the man just throw you out there. He said, no. Point him out, said, that's his hand. That's right. So did I have anybody out there in the hall? Hunt back at home. You know what he's saying? I had all them answers. You should. I know that most of them do. So I got Dexter. Okay, you had your hand up. Ryan, Chris had a hand up first. I'm asking.
Let him have it. He can get it.
All right, what you got, Chris?
He can get it.
Now I really want your answer, Chris.
Because he was persecuting a die, and YashaYahu had Damascus, and he was going to speak to YashaYahu and persecute in Damascus.
I got another question.
No. That's right. I'm sticking with my answer.
That's a good one, too, and I'm going to stick with that check you're going to get, too. No, he went to first to Damascus. That's where he was headed to. There was a synagogue there. I don't know how you put YashaYahu. That wasn't YashaYahu. It would have been to the Yahudim first. Remember, always to the Yahudim first. Always to the Yahudim first. If you read Romans 1:16, he said, "For I'm not ashamed of the good news of Alahym." He said, "For it's the power of Yahushua unto everyone that among." To the who? First. So it wouldn't make no sense he'd have went to Damascus to YashaYahu, because it had to be to us first. He even declared that in Romans, the 1st chapter. He told him he was going to appear and what he was going to do. All it's going to have to be to us first. That's how he was going to get to everybody else. That's how he told him then he was going to go and he was going to speak to Shalakym, which were kings. He actually went to see Caesar. He wound up telling them one time they were going to keep him from going. With Agrippa and them, they weren't, listen, he said, I would have let him go. So Agrippa was going to let him go. He told him no. He said he had to go see Caesar. And that's because that's his homeland, that's where he's from. He was a Roman citizen. He was sending him back to Caesar because he told him, he said, listen, he was going to show him what great things he had to suffer and what he was going to do to the Benin of YashaYahu and everybody else. And he told him he was going to go before Shalakym. But all that went up with him going through the suffering, being shipwrecked, all these things fall upon being persecuted. Like you want your salvation, it's going to come through persecution. It's going to come through loss. It's going to come through tragedies. Listen, your salvation is not going to come the way y'all thinking. I'm just telling you, you have to really set your mind, align yourself to realize what you really embarking on salvation. This is a lot. It's a lot. It's intention. It's a lot you got to do. It's a lot that required, but it's worth it. I just want to tell you the truth. I want to do it. You that thing, I'm just get up, I'm going to confess, then he going to take me in the room back there, and he going to immerse me or baptize me, then I'm be good. You a liar. And I'll never tell you that lie. There's going to be a lifestyle you want to live out. It's going to be constant change, constant maneuver. Can't ever get comfortable because there's always more information, more stuff you gotta transition do. For those been doing, you said it ain't that. It was something you when you first came. Because you've been doing it for a while, so it looked like, oh, I mean, that's what you just gotta do. That's because you constantly being taught, so you're adjusting. You got it? So when a person hears this, that's a lot you gotta consider. I had a life before this. So that means I had to stop everything, just like Cuff and Shimon. Follow me, I'll make you fishing men. What they were doing, sitting down there twiddling their thumb. With me, they had a life before that.
That's right.
I had a life before I met you, and I was willing to put that on hold and just let that go so I could follow you. It takes something to have a mindset to do that. And that's what people can look at. I got a life. I got people I connect to. I got commitments. I got appointments. There's a lot of stuff I got. And you tell me just let it all go? Every person thinks like we do. How can I have Yahushua and still live my life? That's where we at. That's where people at. People wouldn't mind doing it, and people would do it if you could do both, but you can't. You got to be willing, just like Bishop said, you got to forsake it all. You got to forsake it all. I'm telling you, y'all don't hear enough. He said, any man will come after me. Take up his tooth and do what? That's every day. Every day you got to have your mind. And we get up, we don't have that mindset. We don't look at every day as a day to suffering, because the only way to be partakers of the reward, you have to be partakers of the affliction. Come on. I mean, you really got to think about that. You got to keep them. I have to be partakers of the affliction. And we just want the reward. It doesn't work that way. So just like when you see teams win the championships, or what they do, you know what them teams did a lot of? Whatever islands are, practice.
Yeah.
Practice. Pushing through injury.
Yeah.
Making up when somebody else fell short. That's how you win. Guess what? We all had, hold on. I had to get that out. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's right.
Y'all see that face? I don't see nothing wrong Y'all think, man, I wasn't gonna hold that thing in, man, hurt myself. That thing was right on the edge. I'm trying to make sure it wasn't wet. I'm good. If it been wet, I said, listen, that's good. But it wasn't wet, so I'm still good. Listen, man, I had to get that thing out on the guitar. I tell you what, I feel better, so much better. I ain't know why them old folks, since I laid mine, that's it, pulled down. I'm going home too. Listen, I ain't been ashamed. I've been ashamed about hear that thing and I'd have fell out on that floor and found a hospital man say, you should have fought it, you wouldn't been in the hospital. Y'all heard that? No, that thing back up to my heart. No, I can't put all that pressure on me like that. I'm trying to live. So you got to be willing not to be, I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. That man made me for a purpose. I had to get that out and I feel better too. How you feel? You feel all right? I tell you, Amy, how I feel. Ain't your business, but I feel all right. Isn't that right? All right, we're going to fill this up now. We can go. I can eat, put something back in and fill it back up. I had to put something back in the tank. That put some weight off me right there, boy. I was going to try to ease it out. I said, man, let that thing go, man. We're gonna try to hold on. Keep on your count. Get pew, pew, pew. You can't keep all that pew and stop it. You're going to mess around. Old turd being caught out there. You got to know when to get it out. At least I'm honest. I feel better. I feel like I'm 6'4", Yahuah made me. While we watching the what, I said, he ain't grow the inch either. How you get it? Where you get the feeling from, though? You can get what is a 6'4" feeling if you ain't 6'4"? Anybody know what it is? Confident. Okay, let's try it again. What is it? Now, how tall are you? 6 feet even. So, feel 6'4". Because he's not answering my question. That's a good one, though. That's a good one. That check, I'm confident that check should be on that board, though. We'll finish this up so we can let y'all go. Come on. You still reading? All right. Here you go. Read and check.
But declare first unto the inhabitants of Damascus and Jerusalem, and then throughout all the Arats of Yehuda, even to the Goyim, saying they should repent and turn to Alahym and do works worthy of repentance.
Y'all say, who that sound like?
You can
See, you see how why I tell the folks when they about to bring forth power, they think he brought a sheep or go. No, he said it's the remorseful. He told them the same thing he telling them for, that they should do what's toward repentance. Come on.
And because this the bar, the Yahudim seized me in the Mashakhan and sought to kill me. And Alahym is in my help, and to this Yom I have stood and testifies before me both to small and great. I spoke nothing other than the Dabarim, which the Nabaim and Mushah said that they are destined to come.
Hold on, who was he saying now? Who that was? He would repeat.
Nabaim and Mushah said that they are destined to come.
What happened?
In Alahym, I read that. That the planned events, suffering of the Mashiach to be fulfilled, and to come first from the Mut, to proclaim Thought Auryah both to the and to the Goyim. And it came to pass, while he was saying in his defense, Festus said in a loud call, saying,
What is that?
Shaul, you are mad. Much learning is bringing you to madness.
And what did he tell him?
But Shaul said, I am not maddening, most excellent Festus, but I tell you the Dabarim of sober Amat. For the Malak knows these matters, and for this I speak to him with confidence, because I think that not one of these things have disappeared from him, for this is not done in a corner of the corner.
What happened?
Malak Agrippus, do you among the Nabaim?
Do you believe the Nabaim?
I know that you do among.
What happened?
Agrippa said to Shaul,
What did he tell him?
in a short time you shall persuade me to become a Nazri.
Not Christian. Because he was talking about following Yahushua. And you know what he used, and he was telling me the whole conversation based off? It was basically based off the Tanakh.
That's right.
The writings, he told him ain't said nothing different than the Nabaim and Mushah said.
That's right.
This is going to put you back to your Tanakh, which is going to put you into your writings, your Nabaim, and going to put you in your Torah. What he used to convince these people, the same thing we use in 15 and 4, whatsoever written aforetime, that we through patience and Nakum, comfort of the writing. That's why he told me, in a short time, you're going to persuade me to be of a Nazarene. But what they going to give you in the book? Christian. Christian. He went back, he told them, I already know you believe in Nabaim. See, the problem y'all don't realize. I'm not preaching that white folk that oppress this whole system, they know I'm teaching truth. That's why they shadow block me. They ain't no fool. These people ain't stupid. And all these folk don't realize why they done. They gonna look at these other preachers they let out. Y'all know why they let them preach? Because they know you are a detriment to your own self. You ain't instructed nobody. All of them. Why y'all think they leave them on TV? Why y'all think that? Because they know you're not affected. You're not going to change these people from doing nothing. They know people affected. Shadow ban them, block them, keep them down. Don't let them back on television because people are listening and they questioning. I want a few people that get that real. Just like that poop. That was a real poop. That wasn't bought from no store. I own that poop. Now I put that thing out there. Willy-nilly. But at the end of the day, people know I'm just real. I mean, for some people, they say, I can't stomach him. Man, I just rather my preacher talk. I got you. Go find that preacher. Some people want somebody to be real. Somebody ain't fake. Somebody one place, one time they here, the next place, they somewhere, they some kind of other way, they got this fake aura about. Just be real. I'm the same person. Where you find, I'm the same person. I'm just keep it real with you. I care about the truth. I want to be saved. I want to see people saved. In order to save them, you need to tell them the truth. A lot of people would do it if they knew. There's a lot of people trying to do it. It's some things they just don't know. People just know, if I know it's going to cost me everything, then I know what I need to consider. I know how to proceed from that point forward, or I know to just go ahead and abandon ship. But this way, when you choose it, just understand, it'll cost you everything. Yeah. We got people here that lost everything. We got folks that lost marriages, homes, cars. We got folks that lost a whole lot of stuff. But that's what it's going to take to be saved. How Yahuah got to listen? Just like Abraham, he said he had to prove him with going offering his only son. He said, now I know your heart, man. Yeah. Why he didn't know that before when he said it? I got to see it. Offer me your only son. He said, and I made him get rid of it, separate it. He said, stop. He said, because now I know. So how he know with you? Because I told him, yeah, that makes sense. And you say, all we going to know I'm how to prove you. Listen, I ain't no boast, but honestly, I've been proven for the job. I've been proven for the job. I ain't just popped up in no job now. I've been proven. I've been pushed to the limits on some stuff, and I stood the test. And that ain't mean I ain't gonna be tested no more. But the only way you're gonna make sure you can do it, you gotta be proven, you gotta be tested. How you gonna know? I need to know. Shaul said, I'm persuaded none shall separate me from a harbor. Alahym. How? Persuaded means influenced. He said, I have been influenced enough that nothing going to cause me to be bedog. He looking at, look, he done told him, listen, my own people done took me and done hand me over. He said, there wasn't no strength. These were his own people. You don't think that hurt? My own people gave me over. That man said, I still been instant. He said, I still been instant in their way. He said, and I ain't said nothing different than the Nabaim and Mushah done said. That's what he's trying to listen. That man looked at, man, that convincing to me. These people knew. He said, I know you're a monk. Because Shaul looked at, I used to work for these guys. I used to take your letters. Y'all sent me because you know I'm authoritarian when it comes to, I know the letter. I know how it's got to be done. When they stoned Stephen, they laid the witnesses, they laid their coats at a young man's feet named Shaul because he had to be there. He had to witness, make sure it was done accordingly. That's why he had to do it. They stoned Stephen doing what? He was calling on Alahym, saying Yahushua HaMashiach. That's how we knew that Yahushua was Alahym. Because he said he was calling on Alahym, but he used the name Yahushua. So we started to understand some relationships of how things connected themselves. And we also understand how we got a halak, which is something we've been missing. How many of y'all can be honest and know you hadn't put your fullness in it? We all can come up. Anybody can come up? And that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. See, folk don't look at it, that's what we're going to do. At the end of the day, it don't make sense for you to be here and half do it. If you're going to do it, you might as well do it right or don't do it at all. People are like, oh, that's discouraging. I mean to discourage you, get you out the way. Because it ain't going to make no sense to do it, you're going to go out the way. Count up, now those that say do it, make sure you count up everything you got. If you got wives, if you got husband, if you got kids, if you got a job, if you got cars, if you got money, if you got health, all that's on the table. So reconsider y'all. How many of y'all willing to go all the way? I ain't got no choice. I don't have a choice. What's the alternative? Give me the alternative. Well, you ain't got to do it. You just burn forever. I decided to make Yahushua my choice. That's right. That's for everybody here. Y'all got it? Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Let's see.